Right, hi and good evening, and welcome to THFC Tillide. You're on the mute, Philip. There you go. I was waiting for you to kick off.
So was I.
Yeah, but you're on mute. You
Oh,
didn't
no,
say
I see
anything.
that. I see that. I see that.
Yeah.
It didn't come off mute. Anyway, go on. Off it now.
No, go on. You go on. Go on.
No, no. Anyway, no, you start. You start. You continue as you carry
No,
on.
no,
Go
no.
on. Carry
Go
on.
on. Go on. You go. Go on. You're the
Anyway,
host
listen,
tonight.
lads. This is it. This is the last 3 hours of the transfer window for this season, for this part of the season, and we're just going to finish off. We've been on a couple of times today, going through the various aspects of the transfer window, and we're going to continue on until about 11:30 tonight to see if by chance Tottenham do sign anyone else apart from Brennan Johnson, and also can we also get rid of some of the players that we want rid of. So anyway, on the show tonight, as the usual co-conspirator next to me is Dermatron. Yeah, don't be looking down there. It's you I'm talking about. You know, this is me getting my own back on you. Anyway,
It ain't
Dermot, how are you
working.
this evening? Are you optimistic? Are you down in the dumps? Or what way are you?
Philip, you know I'm always deluded. I always think Tottenham will sign somebody at 5 to 11 that'll come in, and Dyer and Sanchez will suddenly just come out of breaking news. They have left the club.
Right.
And Højbjerg as well. Because I'll tell you one thing, Philip, Højbjerg has gone down in my book tonight. How he's he thinks he's bigger than the club. Reggie, PHE, Dyer, Sanchez, Lo Celso, get out of my club. There you go.
Right. So, well, after that, follow that, Mia, please.
Good evening, people. I hope you're all very well.
Oh God, that sounds like the introduction to a variety show on ITV or something. You know, good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening, boys and girls.
Anyway, can you follow that rant from Mr. Dermatron beside you there? Because he's not happy bunny at the minute.
Oh, Joe, what? I'm not happy either, to be honest with you. I'm really disappointed. And from what I read, it's not looking good in the way of anything else really being done. So, yeah, I'm not happy. I feel like I want to be reasonable and I try and be a reasonable person. But some of these situations that have occurred has really, really rubbed me up the wrong way. With players refusing to leave, they all need to just bog off. All of them need to bog right off.
Ah, right. Jack, can you follow your sister's example there, or are you feeling a different way?
Good evening, everybody. I hope you're all well. Yeah, and it's been a great day for everybody. And yeah, hopefully we can get into it all and have a good chat about it.
Good man. And Colin, a Manchester viewpoint, you guys have done okay today. But what do you reckon? Is there any more shocks to come before 11 o'clock?
Yeah, we've done all right, I suppose. I hope there's some shocks to come, if I'm going to be honest with you. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit of a dull end to the transfer window. I think there's one or two deals still left to happen. That's my general feeling.
Right, okay. Not necessarily involving Spurs or Manchester United, though.
Well, probably not. I mean, Manchester United are broke. I've got more money than Manchester United have at the minute. And it all depends whether Daniel Levy's got into his private car on his way to a kebab shop or not, I suppose.
Well,
yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
Do you want to read this out, Philip? I picked this out. I know it's supposed to go
what is that one?
Yeah, do you want to read that one out there?
Yeah, here's one for you. Gleason Brenner is at the THFC headquarters for the last 3 hours, waiting for Spurs to shift to Højbjerg and Dyer, etc. If it doesn't happen, it's not on Levy.
Now, what do you reckon to that? We'll start with you, Colin. What do you have you heard anything, or do you know?
Well, as far as I'm aware, and from what I've seen and whatnot, you know, Højbjerg doesn't want to go to a club that's not playing Champions League football. Eric Dyer has dug his heels in and he refuses to leave. He's more than happy to sit on the bench or in the reserves, keep collecting his paycheck every single week and wait until his contract expires. So I think that's where it stands at the minute. I don't know what's going to happen because it looks like this Atletico Madrid deal for Højbjerg's not going to happen. I know Manchester United were interested in him, but we've signed Amrabat, so that's not going to happen. So his options are very limited now.
I have to laugh when he says he wants to be at the club is playing Champions League. Can you look where he is at the minute? We're not playing Champions League, So anyway, that's interesting. That Brenner fella, what is he now? I've heard the name before. Is he an agent?
No, I think he's a defender. Mayor?
He's a
defender.
defender. Yeah.
That's right. My God, I mean, I don't know. That's very, very strange. And just to carry on, Gary Beck's another comment here, which is pretty much on the same lines. He says, 100% Ange still wants Gallagher. Well, I think, Dermot, we have something came in there a few minutes ago that may disprove that theory, haven't we?
Well, it is. It's gone across the bottom of the screen. We're here, it's being reported that Spurs have shut up shop. Daniel Levy has been seen at the local fish and chip shop with Ange, buying each other some cod and chips. And Ange slapping him on the back and saying, "Here's a can of Coke for you, Daniel. You've done well this window, apparently." But Carl,
Ange probably paid for both the fish and chips.
Yeah. How are you, Carl?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm going to try and not be depressed.
Yeah, look, we're going to try and keep it upbeat on this show because I mean, it's not as if we've gone through the transfer windows of the past where we signed nobody. At least we've something to show for this weekend, this window. It mightn't be exactly what we all wanted, but at least what we've strengthened in some positions that we were badly lacking in, attacking midfielders, for example, and we've got a good centre back and a good left back. So let's not all be doom and gloom about it. There are other clubs that have done worse windows than us, and we'll have to put up with it. Whatever's there tomorrow morning, that's what we've got until January. So. There you go. Tequila is saying, seems to be a bit of a wet fart to the end of the window. Unless you care about the Forest dude, I don't really. I think that Brendan Johnson fella can do a job for us. I've been watching his videos now, and the guy's fairly good. Maybe not exactly what we thought we might get when we were going for Auburn, but I presume his medical's underway at the moment, and he'll be announced before 11 o'clock. I think the only thing that was wasn't settled with Forest was the schedule of payments, how they're working that out, because Forest want a big ball of money up front, apparently. So hopefully that doesn't cause any issues, But anyway, we'll just carry on and see the rest of the chats here. And Liam Harty saying, is it me or Johnson is a similar player to Dan James? Struggling to get excited about it, if honest. Well, let's just see what he does. Let's not judge the guys who we've seen him play games. I mean, we've had situations here, the players coming in this season that were written off before they even pulled the jersey on. So let's give the guy a chance. Yeah, here's Gary back saying that he's a centre back at Roma. I see Roma are playing Milan tonight and losing 1-0 already, so they might need him. Tequila 316, can't be depressed, bro. We all knew it would be this way. Yeah, well, sure, it is what it is, unfortunately. And Wilton McDonald, hi Wilton, is saying good afternoon all. And Tequila is in again saying, best you all get on your knees and start praying we don't get an injury at centre back. Yeah, I suppose that's one thing. Another centre back would have been ideal for everybody, I think, Dermot, you put your hand up there. You want to leave the room, do you?
No, I don't want to say John G.G. lecturers. No, I do not. Just a bit of breaking news. The Evening Standard are also reporting that Conor Gallagher's deadline move to Tottenham is off. Spurs were relying on the departure of Højbjerg to do the transfer, but they have not been able to move him on. So Gallagher is staying at Chelsea. That is the breaking news. That brings
us on to probably the main topic of the evening at the moment is the refusal or otherwise or whatever of Pierre-Emile Højbjerg to leave the club. So, okay, we'll start with you, Colin, on this. What do you reckon?
I mean, this is the one that confuses me, because I think if any self-respecting player backs their stock and they know they're not going to get played, why refuse a move? Even if it's not like a proper intended desire, Atletico Madrid, I think they're a very, very good team. But if he didn't want to go there, but it was his only option, then why would you not go for it anyway? You're not going to get game time at Spurs unless I think there's a surplus of injuries by the looks of it now. But it's a strange one. I don't understand why players do it. He's holding Tottenham at ransom basically now. And something needs to be done about it, but I don't know what can be done.
Exactly. Carl, what do you think? I know I was reading some of your comments earlier. You seem to be fairly dissatisfied with the whole situation, I suppose, at the minute. But what do you make of the Højbjerg thing?
I don't understand it. Like Colin said, I mean, to be fair, I think it's unfair that Colin didn't speak to Eric Van Gaal and ask him to take him, to be honest. But I don't know, considering he said that he obviously was quite clearly not happy about wanting to stay at Spurs, wanting to go and play in Europe. He didn't try exactly hard to get out. I mean, I know there wasn't a lot of interest, but he still could have gone.
Yeah. Mia, what do you say? What do you reckon?
Any player who refuses to get out of my club are in the same category, and they all need to bog the heck off, because I'm fuming. At the end of the day, he thinks he's too good for Fulham. Has he watched himself play? I'm sorry, but I don't know who the hell he thinks he bloody is.
Jack, do you share the same sentiments?
Yeah, I'm just repeating what I'm saying earlier. Really, anybody, the player power is unbelievable on the transfers. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it, where there's so many players turning down moves to clubs. Like, I've just never seen anything like it in any transfer window. So I'm really like, it's really took me by surprise. But like I said earlier, I'm just going to voice the same, that anybody that's not in the 25-man squad can go and sit with Dyer and train with him and keep out of the way of the first team squad, because all they're going to do is cause disruption.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely. Dermot, the last word to you on this one.
Look, for me, I think it's disgusting. I think it's absolutely outrageous how a player of Højbjerg's intelligence, he's an international player, and if he knows he's not going to be in the mainstay of the club, wouldn't you want to go to any club to play first team football? The likes of Eric Dyer, they're holding our club to ransom. The sooner we can rip up their contracts. Now, Højbjerg, he's got a 2-year contract left. The likes of Lloris, Dyer, Sanchez, rip them up. Get them gone.
Right.
Also, Philip, I'm also hearing, as well as moves for Conor Gallagher, and Lloyd Kelly are highly unlikely. Brendan Johnson's medical is ongoing ahead of a 47.5 million transfer for Nottingham Forest. And another bit of news, Philip, which we probably will talk about all through this transfer window show, is Salah will go for 200 million before the end of the Saudi window. But for me, Philip, I think it's disgusting that Højbjerg, a player who I rate very highly, you know I do. You know how much I rate Højbjerg. For me, he's gone down in my book, and the sooner them players are out of my club, the better.
Yeah. Now, that brings us on to what Liam Harty is saying here. Is it time to rip up contracts? And the ones I'm talking about, well, okay, Højbjerg is an exception. He's a 2 or 3 years left. They're not going to rip his up. Lloris and Dyer are the two I'm thinking of. They've got 1 year left each. Should we just say, listen, lads, we'll make you an offer to cancel your contract, and away you go and find a new club? Like, it's better to have that than pay 185 grand a week for them sitting on the bench. Jack, what do you reckon? What do you think? Should we? Okay, I know contract cancellation has to be mutual, but do you think that is a possibility can still happen?
I think it's a good idea with the particular players that you've mentioned, but also obviously you can't rip up any contracts without them agreeing. So it's going to be like have to be paid, especially Eric Dyer, because he's now got the ump and he's going to throw his toys out the pram. He's going to want his full payment to get him out of the club, which I would agree with doing.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Hugo may be a little bit more inclined to sort of take less money and move on a free transfer and go elsewhere.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we said Davinson Sanchez to rip up his contract, but we've got no other defenders.
No, I left him out, deliberately left him out because I think we need to keep him. As a backup. Seeing as Longley now signed to Villa, he was another one we're linked with. He's gone to Villa, so we are a bit short in the centre back situation.
To be honest with you,
Dorrington guy in the under 21s looks to me as if he could make the step up any time now.
to be honest with you, Philip, I think that if we get an injury at centre back, I think he's going to play Ashley Phillips.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Possibly. I really do, because he is rated so highly, and he is like, for his age, he is unbelievable. And as we've seen with the youngsters that have gone in already, if you get the right players around them, they can do a job. I've got a feeling that if anything happens at centre half, that he will put Ashley Phillips there ahead of Sanchez.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I forgot about Phillips, actually. He's normally brought in, very highly rated. A bit wet behind the ears yet, but he'll learn quickly. So Carl, is ripping up a contract now something we should be seriously looking at?
I think so. I agree with you, Philip. I think Davison Sanchez needs to stay. I completely forgot about him, to be honest, today after the whole Dyer and Højbjerg thing. I think Dyer unless you're on the phone to every Saudi club after tomorrow and just saying that take these players, doesn't matter how much, just take them. If not, then you probably have to look. I mean, I'm surprised the Reece hasn't gone. I don't know why he's even still there. What's the point of it? And Dyer just shows what sort of player he is if he's happy to sit on the bench and get no game time and potentially not even be registered and then leave it free at the end of the season at 29 years old.
It's crazy. We whatever chance we had of making a few bob on him, that's now gone. He's going to walk away for nothing now when he does go. Mia, I think I know what your answer is going to be, but go on, tell us anyway.
What's the question? Sorry, I'm just losing will to live at the moment. It just feels really.
Is Højbjerg going to join you in your dungeon?
No, because I will chuck him. He's not even worthy of my dungeon. He can sit in the garden along with the dog's mess in my garden.
All right, that's all right. That's okay.
Along with Dyer, along with Sanchez, like we say, we need him, unfortunately. And Ndombele, they can all sit in there.
Ooh.
I think of the lot of them, and Ndombele financially, he's the one we need to get off because he's earning more than the other two boys put together.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Did Colin not say though that Galatasaray are moving in for him?
Yeah. I think Colin, you did say that, didn't you? Galatasaray are on the way in for Ndombele, or supposed to be on the way in for him.
Yeah, they're supposed to be still on the way for him. It all depends on players' side now, I guess. Tottenham are obviously happy to see him go, but it all depends if he wants to go play his football in Turkey.
Mm-hmm. And Dermot, that one you put up there, Tottenham approach Chalobah. He's a Chelsea player, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. We just heard that. That's just broken the last few seconds.
My God, I mean, Chelsea and Spurs, who normally don't even talk to each other, have been linked with 2 transfers in the one day. Jesus, something happening.
Do you know what?
Chalobah's a decent player.
Do you know what might happen, Philip? We may get Gallagher yet. There may be Højbjerg may go to Chelsea.
Okay.
Do you know? What do people think of that? That's a question. I'll start with you, Philip.
I don't think it's done just yet.
And then I'll go round. But what do you think to that, Philip? Could there be a double transfer here? This player and Gallagher, or Højbjerg and somebody else going to Chelsea?
Højbjerg to Chelsea. Have they not got enough midfielders? They've enough to fill about 3 teams.
Don't worry about it. If they've got enough, just make sure that they take them. I don't care. Just take them.
Well, I mean, if I'd take that all day long, if Gallagher comes our way, and if we get Chalobah as well, happy days. Yeah. Another midfielder and a centre back, that would make it a good window.
And he is a centre back, Philip. Yeah, he's a centre back defensive midfielder. He's 24 years of age. He's an England under 21 player, so he's the homegrown player. He's been Chelsea since 2007. He's been at Ipswich Town, Huddersfield Town, and Leyton Orient. He's made 45 appearances for the main Chelsea team, and 3 goals he scored. He wears the number 14. He's 6'4". And he is from Sierra Leone, but he does play for the England under
That's right,
21s.
International, yeah. Well,
So
whereabouts
that's
did that come from? Is that from a reputable source?
that's from our source. That's from
Oh,
our
right,
source.
that's very good. Jeez, yeah.
I've just seen Fabrizio has tweeted it as well.
Right. Oh,
Yeah,
now it's getting a bit interesting.
I don't think we're quite done just yet.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think
a sting in the tail towards the end, and maybe this is it.
Mia, you happy with that deal?
If we got it done, yeah, but we're not going to get it done, so don't worry. I was getting
Mia, would you? I tell you what, I think, Jack, I think you need to go around there and just make sure Romero's making your sister happy, because we want happy Mia, not a sad Mia.
It's what Spurs does to you.
Yeah, but the thing is that it's just like they always do it, don't you? They build you up to what you think like something's going to happen, and then it don't. I mean, when have we ever dealt with Chelsea in the first place?
Well, different regimes now.
Now they want to get rid of some. They need to get rid of some.
Well, if they need to get rid of this particular player, I mean, obviously, like that would make sense, but. I can see why Mia's just like she's lost all like hope because of how the day's panned out.
Yeah, but it's not over yet, though. You know, day's over at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree, Philip. I totally agree. But the thing is that we're just sort of like it feels like we're clutching a little bit. That's what it feels like. But yeah,
well, maybe. But listen, I mean, Chalobah. I think Colin, am I right in saying he was linked to go to United on loan earlier in the week?
And Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
He's a very highly sought after player. To be honest with you, very young, quite talented. United were looking at him, but unfortunately for United, they weren't open to a loan move, which is what United can only do. And I think the whole Bayern Munich that were after him as well. Did you say?
Yeah.
I've got no idea what happened there. Probably the same thing that happened with Polina, in all fairness.
Right, okay.
And this is what I'm also sent from the same source, Philip, that I'm still hearing that Ange wants 2 more this window.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're finished yet, guys. I think. Look, I think I can understand what you're saying, Mia and Jack. I really do. I do get. We've been there. I mean, to be fair to you guys, me and Philip have seen a lot more of this than you guys. You're young blood into the Spurs family. Me and Philip are a bit of old blood now, aren't we, Philip? We've seen it all, done it all, and scratched the t-shirt. And Carl, and you're all like young Padawans of if you're on Star Wars, you know. We're like proper Jedis, me and Philip, and you're like young Padawans, you know, learning the way.
You do know you're only like 5 years older than me, yeah?
I know, yeah. I know. Okay, I make you a Jedi as well.
And me, hold on a minute. I'm the same age as Carl. Me and Carl, our birthdays ain't even that far apart.
All right, then you be a Jedi as well, and then Jack and
I'm only 4 years younger than Maria.
Oh Jesus,
so...
you're all respect this.
I just want to be awkward as well. I'm not a Jedi. I'm a Sith.
Oh, well, you bloody wouldn't you, Colin?
Oh, bloody
yes, there's always one. Do you know what? There's always one in the friends group that thinks they're edgy, innit? They have to be like the edgy one.
I reckon Column's Hoiby and myself, do you know? I reckon he's disguised as Hoiby. He's come on to this, you know. Pretending to
Don't tell people my secret.
It's very funny. That's a very funny Danish accent you got, though. Gonna lie.
I'll tell you what.
I've been practicing on it.
I'll tell you what I didn't understand about the Holbier situation. Right, is that we wanted the obligation to buy it, but why did we not just let him go out on loan and just get him out the door? I don't really understand.
Yeah, there's obviously more to it. There's obviously more to that.
Right.
Didn't it come up earlier that the Atletico Madrid proposal didn't meet Spurs' requirements?
Yeah, but that was because they wanted an obligation to buy her. Why did we just not do a straight loan to get him out the door?
But then again, maybe he didn't want to go. Maybe he's turned down Fulham. Maybe he's turned down Atletico. So you don't know. Maybe they're not asking enough money. You just don't know what's going on here.
Yeah,
there could be something. But anyway, that's something to keep an eye on for the next hour or so to see. Oh, hang on. They're at Sky. Are at the Tottenham training ground. I'm just going to go silent for a minute. I'll come back to you in a minute.
Yeah, they're at the Tottenham training ground, and St. Daniel Levy's having a cup of tea with the local tea lady, saying what tea will be on the menu for tomorrow. Apparently, on Monday. It's steak and kidney pie for lunch on Monday, guys. Apparently, at the Tottenham training ground.
I think I just saw Postecoglou chasing Levy down the back of the thing. Actually.
Oh, did you? What did he have? Did he have a racket with him or a cricket bat or
cricket bat?
Oh, cricket bat. There you go. Tony Young says I'm the oldest. 1957. Wow. I'd love to get you on, Tony, on the show to do a history of Spurs. What's with the? You're right there, Philip.
Yeah, Sky just said now. Sky aren't always up to date. But the guy was at the training ground and he says Brennan Johnson will be the only signing Spurs make tonight. But then he says, but you never know, it could change. So that's
yeah, Philip, can you just get on with the next subject? I just want to check something out. But back in a minute.
Yeah, sure. I'll go on to the banners here. Bear with me a second, lads. Right, this is going to hold on now. Let me get this right. We more or less discussed this one already, but these are the two players that have gone out on loan today. Sergei Reguilon has gone to Manchester United and brought his girlfriend with him, which would be very nice for the United fans. And Tanganga has gone to Augsburg on loan. Now, Tanganga, his loan deal is with an obligation to buy. But I didn't see a figure mentioned. So I don't know if anybody's seen the figure that we're supposed to be getting for him whenever it does come to fruition.
It was €6 million if they manage to avoid relegation and he makes a certain amount of appearances.
Right, okay. Yeah. Okay. Augsburg are one of the lesser lights in Germany. I thought maybe he might have got a better club than that, But Carl, would you be sorry to see Tanganga go, or do you think he could have done a job for us if needed?
No, I think it was right that Tanganga went, to be honest. I don't think he was ever going to be at the level we needed, and I think it's good for him, for his own career, to go off and try and make something of it, because he can't just be getting a couple of minutes every now and then. He needs to go. As for Reguilon, we all know what's going to happen. He's going to turn into prime Roberto Carlos and never be injured.
Probably, yeah, probably. Colin, are you glad to see Reguilon coming, or would you rather they went for somebody else?
No, I mean, he's coming to do a job that we need him to do. Luke Shaw's out injured for God knows how long. He's always injured, that guy. So it's nice to see somebody that's got the experience come in. Hopefully, he does turn into prime Roberto Carlos for us, because we all know we need it. Jesus, we're absolutely terrible.
And Mia, what do you reckon? At least it's two of the names we wanted off the books have gone off the books. And what do you reckon? Do you think Tanganga could have gone for a bigger club than Augsburg? He's pretty low down the league.
I don't think he's maybe as good as what we thought he could be. He had a couple of times where we thought, oh yeah, he looks good, but since then he just hasn't been good enough, has he? Let's be honest. So it probably is around his level. I'm not going to lie, not horribly, and I know he's one of our own, but I feel like that's probably suitable for him.
Dermot, any more news for us?
No, only that 8 minutes ago, Sky Sports did report that Spurs have made a Chalobah approach from Fabrizio, and also keeper Schmeichel and Nice have decided to mutually consent to terminate his contract of the Danish international. The club wishes him every success for the rest of his career.
Okay.
So now
And just-
Casper Schmeichel is a free agent. And look, on the Reguilon and Tantanga gone on loan, Philip, I think, look, at least they had the balls to actually say, do you know what? We're not going to get any game time. We want to play. We want to improve. We'll go.
Yeah.
And you give them credit where credit's due.
That's it. Just a quick score flash here. Luton 0, West Ham 1 after 37 minutes. Jared Bowen after 37 minutes. So the league leaders are winning. I thought I'd never say that about West Ham. Anyway, let's go back to
that's gone down like a lead balloon.
I know. Honestly, I'm sure you feel like a comedian who just made a joke that nobody found funny. You know.
The thing is with West Ham, you could argue that they had a better window than us. Even though we joked and laughed about them not signing anyone, I would say the 3 people they brought in to replace Declan Rice are actually exceptional players.
I'd never give West Ham any credit. I don't care if they signed Pele, Maradona, and Messi in the same window. I'd never give them any credit. Sorry about that. It's just built into me, you know.
No, with a logical mind, I think you hit the nail on the head there with the money that they got in Colin with the players that they signed.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've just seen. Sorry, I'm watching Sky Sports News again. I've just seen how much they actually offered Salah per week. That is ridiculous money.
How much?
1.5 million a week.
Oh, fuck.
Fucking hell.
That's what, 80 million a year.
60.
Near enough.
72 million a year.
Bloody hell.
Madness.
It's crazy. And if Liverpool stand in his way, how is that going to leave Salah for the rest of the season? Is he going to down tools? Is he going to play with half-heartedly? You know, like that sets him up for life. I mean, 2 years there, and he can buy I don't know what he can buy, but you know, it's I don't know, madness, absolute madness.
It is madness. Look, it is madness, Philip, and this is what I'm saying. The Pro League doesn't work. It's not going to work because of just go on there, Philip. Go on. Sorry, just carry on there, Philip. Sorry, I'm just checking something out.
So I think we're talking about the Saudi league here now. I mean, it's you know, it's come along like a bolt out of the blue in the last few months, buying up players for ridiculously inflated transfer fees, paying them money that they could only dream about. And, you know, it's going to have a detrimental effect. You know, okay, I wish they'd come knocking on Daniel Levy's door, take a few of our players off us because, you know, it would suit our purpose. But, I mean, what do you reckon? I mean, 1.5 million a week for playing football, 90 minutes a week, about 1 game a week with a bit of training. I just find that obscene. You know, Colin, what do you reckon? You know, do you think it's just gone crazy?
Of course, it's gone crazy. I mean, 1.5. Most people in their lifetime won't see 1.5 million. You know, and he's getting it a week just for kicking a football around the field for 90 minutes. It's absolutely ridiculous. And you know, we've had these discussions before. If they're gonna, because obviously there's a whole thing about them coming to the Champions League, they need to fall in bracket with everybody else because nobody in the Premier League can afford to pay anybody £1.5 million a week. It's just ridiculous money, and you know, it's getting to a point now where if they can offer this money and it's not even putting a dent in anything, who else is going to go there? We're going to start seeing more prestigious talent, you know, young English players that are coming up, you know, the likes of, for instance, like Marcus Rashford from Manchester United. Is he going to be subject to a bid and get offered 1.5 million to go over there and play? You know, it's stuff like that, and it'll destroy football.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. It's incredible. Just a quick flash. Is anybody, you know, doesn't think the likes of the Saudi offers for these players is going to have a detrimental effect? You know, are there any benefits at all to the Saudi Football League? Anybody can see? Because I certainly can't. Dermot, you can. I'm sure you can. No, I think nobody can. No.
Sorry, Philip. I'll be with you in a minute. I'm just trying to do something. Sorry, I apologize. Sorry, I'll come off. Sorry.
Like I just don't know. It's apparently now again. This is what I heard at the start of the summer, that the Saudi sports people, whatever you want to call them, they've got a war chest of $160 billion to spend on the sporting activities. So at the minute, they haven't even scratched the surface of that. They spent a couple of billion. That's about all. So I mean, this isn't going to finish anytime soon. You know. So I mean, what do we do? Does UEFA get involved? Does FIFA get involved? Do they try and reel them in? Because at the minute, what they're doing, it might be distasteful, but it's legal. There's nothing illegal about what they're doing, and all it's doing is, I think somebody said earlier they're going to make a bid to take over the Premiership in a number of years. That could easily happen, you know. But the problem, I suppose, the thing there is they might take over the running of the Premiership. They can't take over the clubs.
Philip,
can't own more than one club.
Look, we saw it on TalkSport where they said that they wanted to be the biggest league within 24 months. Now, that's going to be impossible for me because, well, maybe they will do it. But for me, I just want to welcome our last guest in the evening, Josh from Speaking Spurs. How are you, Josh?
I'm doing all right. I'm, as a Spurs fan, transfer deadline day always, you know, gets me up in arms, and it sets the anxiety flags off a little bit because we don't know who's coming and who's going. 9 times out of 10, it's more likely that no one's coming in. I've just seen that as well. That banner you just put up. I've just seen that.
There you go. Yeah, there you go, Philip. I'll let you start off that one. That's the latest. That's what I was double checking for you.
Newcastle can win for Hugo. Well, that's something, you know. He probably find that the weather's too cold up there and he won't bother going. Yeah, fair enough. A backup keeper, though. He's not going his first choice like he wants to. Very much going as backup.
Yeah, I can actually read you the full article, Philip. Newcastle made a late move to sign Tottenham goalkeeper Hugo Lloris on loan. According to the Times, the 36-year-old is no longer Spurs' #1 goalkeeper and has been linked with a move away all summer. Lloris, the report says, has far turned down Newcastle's approaches.
Right.
So, I don't know. What do you make of that, Philip?
Listen, this is the beauty of the transfer window. We thought everything was done and dusted. Now, in the last 20 minutes, we've got rumours at Chalobah. We've got rumours Gallagher might still be on. And now this one. So, you know, maybe it's not all done and dusted yet. There might be a sting in the tail. Like it's still 2 hours and 7 minutes to go, as far as I can see. Or 15 minutes to go, actually. So, Josh, what do you think? Have you heard anything about any late moves or late drama?
I've heard that the Eze deal was meant to happen today, but it's been very, very quiet in terms of that. And at the moment, if we're going in for 47.5 million for this Brennan Johnson, I don't know anything about him, so I can't really say anything. That kind of makes you think we're not going to be going in for anyone substantial for the rest of the window. And with Eze, given that QPR have got a 20% sell-on clause for him, you're not going to get him for anything less than 75 million pounds. So that's going to be a no-go.
Yeah, especially with Johnson coming in.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, Conor Gallagher, I think that's subjective as to whether or not Højbjerg leaves. Although it's been said that it's not, it makes no sense for Conor Gallagher to come in because where does he fit in? Like there isn't really a place for him in the team if Højbjerg's still there. It's all up in arms. It's good that we seem to be getting rid of some of the deadwood, but we need some players in. A centre back and an out striker is something we've been shouting out for the past 3 weeks since Harry Kane left, and we've got nothing to show for it.
Yeah. Listen, I have to sign off for half an hour because an unexpected relative just landed at the front door, and I have to go and talk to him. And he's not even a Spurs fan. I'll be back about 9:15 if that's okay. I'll see you then.
That's grand. I've got a helicopter flying around my house. It's got nothing to do with me, but as you can hear, for some reason, I don't know what it is or where it's going, but it keeps flying around my estate at the moment.
I've not done anything. Tell him to go away.
Maybe we're being invaded by Daniel Levy maybe he's come over to see can he borrow a few quid off us to buy it.
I mean, you haven't done
He's
anything,
doing a whip round.
Josh? You mean you haven't done nothing yet? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, no, exactly that. I mean, if we don't sign anyone, I'm more than likely going to go to Lily Whitehouse and cause a scene.
Oh God!
Could you video it and we can put it up in the channel as a blog?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
yeah. Josh's night out blog.
My night out consisted of going to Lily Whitehouse and throwing abuse at Daniel Levy.
Yeah, well.
Can we have the music as well? I'm ready to riot because I think that would be perfect.
No, I predict a riot by Kaiser Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All Saturday nights all right for Fight by Elton John. But Colin, look, we got the Hugo news. We got Sorensen now has left Brentford. We've got Sinestis undergoing the medical at Bournemouth. We've got Newcastle making a late move for Hugo Lloris. We've got Barcelona expected to wrap up a double Joe Ho deal as well. And Burnley are in talks for Ginks Tessa. We're also hearing that Klober is staying at Chelsea and Ho talks over a Norwich defender. What do you expect in the next few hours, Colin, for the end of the transfer window? Who do you think is going to be more busier?
That's a good question. I think United have shut up shop now. I don't think they're signing anybody. Tottenham can still be active with outgoings, I suppose. Maybe a surprise incoming. Chelsea need to sell players, definitely. I mean, they've got a squad where it requires 16 double-decker buses just to get to training. I think Arsenal are done as well. City, I don't think they're going to be back in the market. I think we're going to see a lot of European moves in this last little bit. Not so much happening in the Premier League, although I do like to be proved wrong.
Yeah, and you, Mia, what do you reckon? Who do you think is going to be busier? Do you reckon who's going to be the busier club, do you think, out of the whole Premier League?
I think Forest, because they seem to be doing deals all over the shop, man. I reckon they're going to carry on and on. They just don't seem to want to stop.
Haven't they just signed Callum Hudson-Odoi for £3 million off of Chelsea?
Yeah. Chelsea, when you were saying about Chelsea, Colin, they've got basically a primary school's worth of flipping players, surely. Like it's going to be like an assembly when Poch meets like all the players now.
They turn up to training. Chelsea players turn up to training and they've got a schedule. You've got science at 9:30, history at 11.
Football at 10.
Yeah, football at 10.
Honestly, it's ridiculous.
It is. Please, everyone.
Let's just put it this way. Chelsea have got so many players. They've asked the league if they can put a team in the Championship, League One, League Two, and the Conference.
The Chelsea B, Chelsea C, Chelsea D.
Yeah. Look, if you are enjoying the stream, please hit the like button, hit the subscription button. Look, I know there's only about 19, 20 of you, but hopefully more will come in later. As we are on to 11:30, so we are going to up to when 11 o'clock. It's every team in the Premier League we're covering. Then after 11, we are going to, for half an hour or so, we're going to talk purely Tottenham, the window, where you think it was good, where we went back, your transfer of the window. We'll do that, and as well other bits and pieces. Guys, look, I've got here Gary Beck's made a very good point. It says, Josh, Ange wants Gallagher, don't write him off. Now, before I let you answer him, Josh, I want to go around the house, right? I'll start with you, Mia. Do you think we should go for Gallagher in January or next summer if we don't get him this window?
Yeah, because I feel like if we're going to get rid of Højbjerg, then yeah, we should definitely get him because I think he's someone that I think Ange would like and would suit Ange. So yeah. Anyone there? Can you hear me? Like,
He's run away.
I can hear you.
He's run away.
Just to touch on that comment, like Gary, I've got nothing against Conor Gallagher coming into Tottenham. I'm actually all for it. My problem is we are signing players in positions that we don't need. We need a centre back. We need an out-and-out striker. Conor Gallagher doesn't fit into this system. If you've got Bentancur, Matasar, Basuma, where does Gallagher fit in? Because he doesn't fit into this. He doesn't fit into this squad. I don't think he's going to start over Bentancur. I don't think he starts over Sarr. I don't think he starts over Basuma. He's just going to be rejected to the reserves team. That's what I'm worried about.
But do you know what though, Josh? He likes to change it up, and like that's options to have, because don't forget we are going to have players going on to AFCON as well. And I do think that we do change it at 60 minutes. You need some fresh legs on, and I think he would be somebody good to come on. I'm not going to lie.
And we are going to pick up injuries at some point during the season, so having quality backups is what we always want. So,
but is he open to the idea of coming in and being like a third choice CDM, or no? Is he happy with the idea of he knows he's not going to get first team? He's not going to get starting 11 time. Like he might get 20 minutes or 30 minutes here and there. But do you honestly see him starting games? Do you see him getting a full 90 minutes on the pitch? Because I don't.
See, the thing is with Gallagher as well is he's very admired by Poch, and he knows he'll get game time at Chelsea, even though they've got a load of midfielders. Even I think they've probably got enough midfielders to, like you said, start a team up in every single league in England. Poch does like Gallagher, so he will get game time. He'll get most of his game time at Chelsea. My worry is the same as you. If he comes to Spurs, where is he going to fit in? I know he can change. I know Ange changes stuff up and everything like that, but it's a case of, is he going to be happy with getting, games in the FA Cup, and that's where most of his game time is coming from? Because I don't think he will be happy with that. I think he wants regular first team football.
This is exactly my point. This is exactly the point I'm trying to make. Granted, Ange wants him, but if Ange does like to change things about, he's not guaranteed 90 minutes every week. That's the concern. And what's that going to do for someone's confidence? Like, it's not. It can't be easy for any player in that midfield at the moment.
Although you say
we've got options coming out of our ears.
Although you do say, Colin, he's going to get time because Poch likes him, how much time is he realistically going to get? Because Poch has to keep a lot of players happy. So I don't think he's going to get an excessive amount of time.
I think you'll be surprised with how much time Poch will give him. Simply because, I
don't think Chelsea's business is done either. I think there's going to be more outgoings at Chelsea today. Genuinely, I think there is.
Yeah, I think there'll be quite a few outgoings for Chelsea in the last couple of hours. But I don't know. I still think he's probably got more chance of getting more game time at Chelsea than what he does at Spurs. Because, let's have a look at what your midfield at the minute. It's been tearing up anybody that's been in the way, any midfield. It's been probably one of your strongest parts of your team is your midfield. And bringing Gallagher in, he's a fantastic player and he can help improve that. But I just don't see him getting in regularly over anybody else.
Yeah, look. I sort of get that, but for me, look, I think it's all great getting these players like Gallagher and all these players and that excite us that we know we need, but it's the players getting out that we do need. And Jack, look, the likes of Dyer, Sanchez, all them players who won't move, like Højbjerg. Why is it? Look, we've got the thing here I did last night. Right, Hugo Lloris on 100 grand, Eric Dyer on 85 grand, Sanchez is on 65 grand. All got 1 year left in the contract, and then you've got Højbjerg who's on over 100 grand. He's got a couple of years left in his contract. So is Dombele. He's on 200 grand a week. Why can't we not shift these players? Why won't nobody buy them?
I don't think it's a case of no one will buy them. I think it's a case of Daniel Levy is too hesitant to give up a substantial amount of money and won't accept anything less. We know that Daniel Levy likes to drive a bargain. He likes to play hardball. I think it's more of a case of there will be people out there that will buy these players, but they won't match the asking price that we've asked for them. And I think that's the problem. We don't like taking risks. We don't like taking risks. Like, we bought Ndombele for 55 million quid. It hasn't worked out. Okay, ship him on for 25. Get rid of him out the door. No, we don't do that kind of thing. We like to try and our board likes to try and recoup as much money as they possibly can off these players. And if it means that they're going to see out their contracts and go on a free, then so be it. I don't necessarily think it's a case of no one wants them. I just think they just won't match the asking price.
That's not true, though, because we had an offer for Ndombele and he refused it. We had offers for Dyer and we accepted them and he refused them. It's a case of actually the players are refusing. It ain't because we haven't had offers for them that we've actually accepted. With Sanchez, I understand he didn't want to go Russia, right? I get it. But some of the other ones that we've had offers, they refused. Sorry, but that was the case.
You see, I'm going to be devil's advocate here. Because I like stirring the pot a little bit, so I'm going to do that. I'll put you in their position. So you're playing football for Tottenham Hotspur. You're getting £100,000 a week. Football's a very short period of time. Your career is very short. We all know this. You're getting £100,000 a week. Your club gets an offer for you. They accept, but then they're offering you wages that are less than what you're on. Are you going to accept those wages? Or are you going to say...
Depends on the cut. Depends on the cut.
This is what I mean.
I'm not being funny. You should be a football player because you love the sport, not because you can earn as much money as you possibly can. Right?
100%. You should be a football player because you love the sport.
No one goes to college or university, studies how to be a footballer, and then has a successful career as a footballer. It's a very hit and miss thing. You get scouted, you get brought up into the system, and if you get to the big time, fantastic. I know plenty of professional footballers that haven't reached through. Like there's a guy that plays for he plays for Crewe now. He used to play for AS Wimbledon. He's the brother of one of my friends. Was prospect. He was at Charlton through the academy. Had prospects of getting up to the highest level. Never really got there. He's settled at League One at very most. Right. If you're on this top whack money. So you're on. No one's going to spend 200 grand in a week. Let's be honest. If you go out and you blow 200 grand a week, you've got a serious issue, right? If I'm on 200 grand a week and someone offers me 175 grand a week, but it meant I got first team football, 100% I'll take it.
But this is what I'm saying. Players should have the respect of themselves to do that. But as I've stated before on this channel, 90% of players nowadays are mercenaries. All they care about is the money. This is the issue with football. Because of how much money is getting thrown about everywhere, a lot of players only care about the money and how much they're going to be receiving because they want what's best for them at the end of their football career, which I don't hold against them. It's a very short career, but they want to be able to be set for however long they're not going to be playing football for.
But that's what I was trying to say when Josh was implying that it was Daniel Levy that didn't accept offers for these players when actually they have. It's just the players are the ones who are refusing to actually go to these clubs. So
yeah, but can you just
justify the Ben Davies valuation at 35 million quid? Can you justify that?
What do you mean?
No. Ben Davies was thinking of a move away last season, and he was the asking price was 35 million quid.
He's got 3 years on his contract now, so that's by the by. Like, we're not talking about them, we're talking about now. There's no point of talking about what could have been, woulda, coulda, shouldas. We could have sold that. But what I'm saying is, but what I'm trying to say to you is that the fact is that we could have sold Delhi for more money when we had the opportunity, and we didn't. A lot of people were saying, no, we need to keep him, And if he goes, then people are going to go, oh my God, we sold our player. So obviously people want it both ways sometimes. What I'm trying to say to you is the here and now, some of these players do not want to leave, and they have been offered to go to places. So you've got to
then you tear their contracts up then.
But you can't just
we did it to Sergio Aurier.
No, but they've got to. Yeah, but do you not understand how it works? In the contract, you have to agree. You can't just tear up their contract without their agreement. So what you need to have is their permission. If you're offering them 80% of their wages to go, then they're going to say no. I'll just stay and get 100%. So that's your problem, because to offer 100% is going to be have a knock-on effect, because other players will then just say, I'm not going then, I'll let them just rip up mine. And then that will cost an excess amount of money for ripping up contracts. You can't just do that. That's not how business works.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to get Jack and Carl's thoughts on this. Jack, what's your view on it? Do you agree with Josh, or do you agree with me, or do you agree with everything what they're saying? Do you know what I mean? And you look at Don Bele, 200 grand a week, and he doesn't want to leave anywhere. What would you do to get rid of these players?
Well, with Don Belly, it's just the wages, Dermot. So, if he's been offered to go somewhere and it's a permanent move, which I don't know if that Galatasaray move is a permanent move, he will obviously have to take a pay cut to go there. So, whether he's going to be willing to accept that which he's shown in the past that he's not, is that he's going to yet again turn down another club that we've accepted a bid for, but he's going to stay for the money. So, and then you've got people that want to play football and will go out and earn less money because they want to play football, because that's the type of person they are. It all boils down to the type of person that you are, and Eric Dyer is a prime example of somebody who has shown his true colours this window, that he is not interested in the club or playing. He'd rather just sit around for a year, do nothing, get a full amount of his wages, and then get a signing on fee next season, and go elsewhere for free.
And you, Carl, what's your thought on it all?
I think unfortunately we have got a lot of deadwood with a lot of inflated egos. So we have got a Dyer and Højbjerg who think they deserve better, so that's why they won't go. And you've got an Dembele who's got a bigger ego than Pogba, who thinks he is the second coming of Christ, and he gets offered to Genoa. We obviously offered money towards their wages because no way Genoa could pay that amount, and he just didn't want to go. So basically, he's happy just to take that paycheck. Now the issue is do you just let them? Do you just release them and take the hit? As a club, we can afford it. Put a concert on, cover the fact that we've got rid of them, and have them nowhere near the club, because I just think they're going to be poisonous.
Yeah. So, but look, I'd love to go around the chat, and you as a Man United fan as well, Colin. Just to give you a bit of breaking news, everyone, the Gravenberch deal is done. Sky Germany are reporting that the transfer of Ryan Gravenberch from Bayern Munich to Liverpool has been completed, and also Celtic have signed Benfica midfielder Paulo Bernardo on a season-long loan deal with an option to buy. So Celtic have got one in the door, and Liverpool have got their man. I've got no more reports on that, but on both deals, so the second one column is an option to buy, isn't it? So that's a good deal for Celtic. And any more on the Gravenberch deal?
Gravenberch.
Yeah.
So Gravenberch is done. Loan deal. I believe that's got an option to buy on that one as well.
Right.
Fantastic signing. I know. Obviously United were after him as well, but we couldn't get the deal done. Liverpool have. It's fantastic stuff. They need him. They've got an aging midfield. They need him. So it's simple as that. They've managed to go out there and get a player in that they needed. I wish a few other clubs would do that, because there's plenty of clubs out there that need players. Your club, my club, we all need players, but they're just not doing it the right way by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Can I just answer Tequila? Do you know who's basically sanctioned for Ndombele? Pochettino. He wanted him. So go speak to our mate Poch down at Chelsea.
And this is why Poch needs to give us Gallagher and Shalabar to pay back the fact that he went there.
Yeah, but look, that's a good topic to go on to, Mia. And look, I will go on to it. It's not something we normally do in this channel, but I think we will tonight, as rarely there's no transfer news around Tottenham at all at the moment. It's gone a bit quiet. There's only 2 hours left now. But am I right, Colin, very quickly to say that if teams now put in a piece of paper now that they can still complete deals after 11 o'clock, am I right in saying that?
as long as the bids have been accepted and all the paperwork side of that kind of deal is completed and sent over before the deadline, then yes, it's fine to go ahead. Anything that takes place after the deadline obviously will get rejected, but quite a lot of it requires player medicals and stuff as well to be partially done, if not already underway.
Okay.
Can I quickly just reply again to what Tequila's asked?
Yeah.
Basically, what I think happened was that Poch said, I want this player 100%. So they did exactly what it took, whatever it took to get him to agree to sign. I feel like that's probably what happened, Tequila. That's just my opinion, but it makes sense because Poch really wanted him. So they've probably gone all out and said, right, okay, to be able to get him to Tottenham, that's what they offered him, unfortunately, for us.
Right. Look, I'll just say for the next 20 minutes or so, I want to talk about Levy. And I'll start with you, Mia. What do you think? How has he come out of this transfer window in your eyes, Mia?
Not too great, because he didn't get business done early enough. We messed about. Obviously, it wasn't with the deal with Kane. I get it, because it was not really to do just with us. It was that Bayern didn't offer enough and they did muck us about a bit. But there was definitely points where he could have done a lot better, because we haven't got a DOF and because Scottman couldn't do any work. It felt he was in charge. And I felt he could have done a lot better, 100%.
Yeah, and Jack, where do you think? I mean, look, we've got Mia saying it's his fault. Can you give any positives to Levy this window, or do you think you agree with Mia? It's his fault. He didn't.
I'm not saying it's all his fault. I'm just saying I do believe that there is a big portion where he could have done a lot better.
Yeah,
just clarifying.
I believe that, like, when you actually write down a list of players that we've got in, and then the list of players that have gone, as was put down earlier on, or earlier on in this chat or in the other chat, I don't think he's done too badly. The mistake he made was taking all those players out onto the tour and not giving the opportunity to players that we know we didn't want at the club to go. And that's where I think the biggest mistake was, because the tour turned into an absolute farce, and then it gave us 2 weeks before the season started to start moving out anybody we didn't want at the club. So really, he's done on incomings. I'd say that he's done pretty well, and every player that's come in has been a player that Ange has wanted. So he has backed Ange in that way. The only thing he's done is let us down in the fact that we've still got so many players at the club that just shouldn't be there. And that tarnishes the good work he has done. So,
and Carl, look, we know he's done well, but with the players coming out, we'll leave that to aside for 1 minute. But for the players coming in, the Madison deal, the getting Vicario in, getting VDV in, has he impressed you how quickly he got some of them deals done? I mean, he got some of them done quicker than we normally do.
Yeah, I think for the players coming in, I think he's got everyone that Ange wants. I think getting Madison for 30 million with wings going in the other direction was one of the signings of the summer. Vicario is obviously starting to prove himself. Van der Vender's like a regen of Vertonghen. So, and Brennan Johnson, if that goes through tonight, that's a good signing too. But it's just unfortunate with Levy. Every time he does something good, something else goes bad. And he had no say in the Kane leaving, but everything after Kane leaving has become a bit of a show.
And Colin, look, any updates now? We've got Forest pushing for a player. We've got Luton deadline day signing is watching on. Albert Samba Lalonka, he looks to be joining Luton. And then owned by Omo Bele, who's actually plays for us. Forest are after him as well. So there's a few clubs, few teams, Colin, still in the market at this late stage.
Yeah, I mean, there are always going to be a couple of teams that were going to be in the market until literally, seconds before it closes. It's going to be interesting to see what actually happens. I know they were talking earlier about Salah, obviously that 150 million pound rejected, but it seems like Phillips' second team, El Hatidad or whoever it is, aren't deterred by that, and they're willing to go up to 200 million for Salah. So I think that'll be one to watch but they might come back in for him, but they've got time because their transfer window doesn't close at 11. So
yeah, we've got, I think, what's it now? I think it's very close to the close of the. Where is it now? Where did I put my thing? The close of the Italian window, is it? Yeah, the Italian window. No, the French window closes at 10 o'clock. So a little while to go. The French window is shut. The German window is shut. But as you can see there, the 7th of September, the Saudi League is still open. Now, another bit of breaking news for you, Colin, concerning Manchester United. Amrabat is signing Man United contracts, according to Fabrizio Romero.
Yeah, I've seen that myself. Yeah, he's officially now a Manchester United player for this season, so I'm happy about that. It's a position that we needed, in all fairness. So we need somebody to help Casemiro out because, Jesus, we look like a donut at the minute. A big, massive hole in midfield. But, I mean, just going on what you were saying there about the windows closing, that's going to make things different. It's going to make it a lot harder for clubs in the Premier League to sign anybody else now from outside of the Premier League because there's no time for anybody else to do anything because either the window's closing in 45 minutes or they're closed already, so they can't do any business. So it's just going to be players that they don't actually want now that'll be going out because they haven't got the time to do anything. So personally, I think all windows should close at the same time just to make it fair.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's just not that way.
No. And also announced that Barca have announced Felix loan in signing Mia. Barcelona have announced the loan signing of João Felix from Atletico Madrid. So his dream has come true. I think you're popping off for a little while, aren't you, Mia? Or is Mia already gone?
Yeah, you're kicking me out, are you?
Well, no, you just said you were going. If you want to stay, stay. I don't mind.
No, I will be back because I've promised that I will go on someone else's because they said to me, "Do you want to come on?" And I said, "Yeah," because it was nice to be invited. So yeah, I'm going to go on for a little bit.
Where are you off to?
I'm off to South View from the South Stand with Ash and Haz and them lot.
Enjoy yourself, but come back.
I'll come back. Hopefully they'll treat me nicely over there. I'm sure they will. They're nice guys over there.
I'm sure they will, Mia. Well, listen, Mia will be back soon, and we will put Mia's we'll put your link in the chat, Mia. So, but thanks for coming on at the moment anyway. We'll see you later. We have got a super chat here from Tequila. It says for Dermo to pay off Pogba's contract as soon as possible. That one's gonna follow me around to the day I die, I think. Look, I had a weak moment. I do, as you can compare, Carl, it was a weak moment, wasn't it, to be fair, that signing?
It's almost as weak as your hilarious tackles.
Well, not bad.
Literally, I've never seen someone slide in from like about 20 yards away trying to take out someone from behind.
I've taken out a few of them, though, haven't I? Look, guys, but big up Tequila. Thank you so much for the super chat. It really does help. And if you want to be like Tequila, please join. And also pick up a membership as well. It really does help the channel grow. As we're on the march to 2K. But really, yeah, please do get a super chat in, pick up a membership. $2.99, $4.99. I think there's 3, but it really does help us grow and help us bring you more content, better graphics for the watch alongs and things. So yeah, big up. Tequila says, I know what you mean, Mia, Oh, we've read that one. The Keeler says, "Man, I'm getting real hammered here. Big up, panel." What do you say to that? What do you say to that, Colin?
Hammered? What do you mean he's getting hammered? If he means if he's drinking, then what you drinking and why aren't you sharing it? You know, you got two Irishmen here. Why aren't you sharing?
Yeah, exactly. Jack, I think you said you were going to pop up. Jack's been with us all day, to be fair. So big up, Jack, for making your debut on this channel. And hope we will get you on again soon, sir.
I might pop back in just before the end to see what happens with that Chelsea player.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we might get him in. That would cheer me
Yeah.
right up. But I'm going to jump off for now, Dermot. I've been on all day, so
Yeah. No, you're well, as you're popping off, the Godfather himself pops back on again. So big up, Jack. And listen, we'll see you. Pop in at 11 if you want to at the end of the window. So we're great to see you.
all right, mate. I'll speak to you soon.
Speak
See
to
you
you
later.
later.
See you later, everyone.
Hey, Jack.
See you.
See you,
Cheers,
everybody.
Jack. Thank
Bye.
you.
See you later, buddy.
Thank you. What an effort he put in today, Philip. He really
Yeah.
did put in a big effort today with me all day. Bless him.
Very good.
Him
Keep it
and
going there,
me as
Dermot.
well.
I may have to pop up again in half an hour. So I've escaped from the relatives, but I have to go back down again after a while.
All right. Okay. Yeah, not a lot going. It's very quiet now, isn't it, Philip?
I'm just watching Sky here. Barcelona have signed Wow Felix. Remember the
Yeah,
guy
we just announced that a few minutes ago.
on loan, and yeah, there's not a huge amount happening that we can see. Any more rumors on the Tottenham front?
No, nothing yet. There is nothing really. Sorry, you'll be back in a minute. Colin, any latest news for you, Gary?
No, I mean it's very, very quiet. A lot of the stuff now is already things like medicals taking place and all that kind of stuff. I think Morpay has done his medicals. He's on his way to, is it Brentford? Brentford is going to.
Yeah.
They're talking about what's his face Holding from Arsenal at the minute. It's just, I mean, there's an hour and 40 minutes left. So if it's going to kick up and be lively, it needs to do it very, very shortly.
They're saying that they interviewed a girl. I saw it when I come back up there. Some girl who came across Salah today. Apparently, he wasn't too affected by the bid. He was his own professional self. He went to training, did his training, went home, and doesn't seem to be affected too much by this bid. And whether they come in with 200 million and it's refused, that could change his tune a bit.
Yeah, I mean, Salah is a professional. You know, he won't let things like this get to him. I've heard on the grapevine that he wouldn't mind going. I mean, for 1.5 million a week, I wouldn't mind going. But I think exactly, you know, for 1.5 million, we can share it. We can all go. We'll go and, you know, do a YouTube channel for El Hattiad instead for 1.5 million pound a week.
Why not?
Michael Dawson is in with Sky now, giving his opinions.
Oh God!
Look, I just want to start this conversation here, Philip. Why haven't we spent the Kane money?
Because we probably haven't been able to get the players at the right price. I mean, spending money over the odds is as bad to me as not spending it at all. If you spend 60 million on a player that's only worth 20 or 30, which effectively we did last summer with Richarlison, right? That to me is irresponsible. So I can say don't pay over the odds for players. And we've obviously been quoted way, way over the odds for a lot of players. Plus, some of them don't want to come because we're not in Europe. Don't forget that. That's another factor that's been nearly forgotten about. Europe is a draw. And I wouldn't say we want to try, and we've tried to spend it, but we've spent half of it, maybe more, and that's it.
And you, Carl, do you know why haven't we spent the Kane money?
I agree with Philip. Really, I'm shocked we didn't bring in another centre back. If I'm honest, we were linked with so many of them, like a Victor Nelson and that Shares, and obviously a few other players. I was surprised we didn't bring another one in. But like you said, like Philip said, it's not easy to get a top world-class striker. They're not cheap, and like Philip also said that when people were saying, "Oh, it doesn't matter if we don't get Europe," it really does, because obviously that is a pool, and we didn't get it. And unless you're going to pay stupid money like Chelsea, you're not going to be able to get those players in.
Yeah, that's true.
And look, Colin, look, we've got that Thfc working on Mason Greenwood deal. Are you surprised, or you're not surprised, or?
No, not surprised at all, and good riddance to him. I don't like talking about the guy because of obvious reasons at all. So, good riddance. See you later. Enjoy your football elsewhere.
They're on about Brendan Johnson.
Yeah. What about Brendan Johnson? You've muted yourself. We can't hear
I think.
you.
He's because he's got it on.
Oh, all right. Okay. Yeah. All right.
I think they're just talking about his medical at the minute.
Yeah.
We snuck in 4 other players.
Yeah.
While he's having his medical.
Yeah.
You've got Harry Maguire there doing a medical as well.
Cole, we do not want that. I'd rather go with Dyer.
We've also got Don Belle's trying to sneak into the canteen to get an extra kebab before anyone knows.
I would turn around and say we'll pay you to take Harry Maguire, but we can't even pay to bring anybody in, so we can't pay you to take him away from us either. So
yeah.
To be fair, I'm still hurt we didn't go for Amrabat, to be honest.
Yeah.
No, you're right. So they were just talking about his medical, but they're saying that it's at the final stages at the moment, but didn't make any comment on anything else happening. And then he has some comment to Michael Dawson about remembering the day he came in or something, so they're off chatting about that now.
But look, I know you said earlier about I'm not going to count my chickens. I'm going to be doubting Thomas not to see the players lift up the shirt. Right? I get all that. But why does it take so damn long just to sign a player? Back in the old days was come in, you shook hands, you agreed a wage, you signed the contract, you're announced, go out to play the next day or you go out to play that day.
We're a different planet since those days. Different planet.
Yeah.
There was no agents in those days, right? There was no image rights. There was no sell-on fees. There was no loads of things were not involved. It's a very Colin, you'll know it's a complicated situation signing a player. I mean, getting the agreement to sign him is the easy bit. It's what comes after that. You have to go through medicals. You have to go through, getting. I'll give you, football contracts are quite complex in so much as there'll be so much for a win, so much for a draw, so much for a goal, so much for everything else they want to write into the contracts. That all takes time. And then you've got the interminable agents to deal with who are now being capped from the 1st of October, which might soften their cough a bit. But they're also a reason why things take so long. So it's not as easy as back in the days of Jimmy Greaves when you wrote the contract in the back of a cigarette packet and signed it. It's gone on a bit since then, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a question here from Will McDonald.
The back of top.
Okay. Right, go and listen there. Hate to play the card, but all the hunger in the third world countries, some dude gets 1.5 million a week. Crazy word it is. Look,
sorry, I've just listened to what they were saying at the Tottenham ground then, and Ange has put it plainly and bluntly for any player. He's here and said, obviously, everyone has the reasons and everything to decide whether they're staying or going, but we only have a 25-man squad, so if I don't see you as, I'm paraphrasing, like, if I don't see you as part of the team, unfortunately, you're going to miss out.
Yeah.
Could you do that? Could you do that in an Australian accent so it's more authentic, please?
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing.
Right, I put shrimp on a Barbie.
If I was one of those that are no longer thinking, I would be where I just can't figure it out. It's like coming into work every day and nothing to do, sitting there looking at the desk.
Yeah,
what are they going to do for the next 9 months? I don't know.
So what do you do, Philip? Where do you go with it? I mean, you can cancel their contracts because they're.
You can try.
Yeah, but do you now banish them to the under-18s or the under-14s?
Well,
or tell them not to come in at all.
Well, by telling them not to come in at all, they want to keep fit anyway. That's for sure. Just have them training on their own, and make them pay for the trainer that's actually assigned to keep them fit. Because why should they take up one of the guys that should be working on the first team?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, a little insight, like, 'cause obviously everybody knows that I have worked in this kind of industry before, at a couple of clubs. When this has happened at previous clubs that I've had the privilege to work with, what they tend to do is whoever it is, they'll train separately from the first team anyway. They'll get put into their own little group and get told, go over there, do your drills and everything that you're supposed to do. And that's probably what will happen. And the only way they'll come back towards the first team training with a full squad is if they're really needed and it's an emergency, registration or something.
Do we have to submit 25-man squad names tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yes, it'll be tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
Now, this question. Go on, Cole. Go on. Sorry.
I don't know why. I've just got a feeling. I still think something's going to happen.
I hope so.
I still think that something's going to happen.
I'm in the same boat as you here, Carl. I think something's going to happen.
Yeah.
Anyway,
do it.
Yeah, this question's for you from McDonald. Question for the Godfather. Do you remember when we were the high spenders, 100,000, big news, then also paying more money than most clubs in the league?
Yeah, I do. Well, I don't remember the 100. I was 100 grand was a bit before my time, but I remember in the 60s when Bill Nicholson was in his prime, we had the pick of the players, and we let Pat Jennings, we got him from Watford. Alan Gilzine came down from Dundee. We got Mike England from Blackburn. We got all these players in who were really good servants for the club for many, many years. But one thing I'll always remember about Spurs now, and I used to comment on it at the time, whenever a player had outlived his youthfulness at Spurs and he was sold on, they tended to let them go for half nothing. So there wasn't as much attention paid to the transfer fees got for the players as there was for ones coming in. When we paid, could that be Tosin to Monaco? I can't hear you, Dermot.
That's off.
Right. Does that
and
leave
also? Yeah, and also Spurs are exploring a late move. This is now back on. Internal contacts have been made between the clubs. So that is just broke. The Tosin to Monaco's off. So now Spurs could go in for him as well.
But didn't he say he wanted to go to Monaco? Now they've pulled out of it. But then again, I don't want a player coming to the club who turned us down a couple of weeks ago.
But Fulham are after Eric Dyer. So maybe Eric Dyer might get shifted now. What do you think, Colin? Do you reckon have they got enough time to get these deals done?
It's scraping it fine. If it's going to get done, then the bid needs to go in literally yesterday, and it needs to get moving now for it to get done in time. It's going to be interesting.
There'll be no time for a medical. You'd have to do it on hope that there's nothing wrong with them.
This is the thing. This is the thing. As long as if this bid can get accepted and because he can do them, he doesn't have to go to Tottenham. He can do his medical at Fulham.
Yeah.
So he can do all that there, so he doesn't have to travel. And as long as it's started and they've got so far into it, I think if they finish the first phase and start the second, even if it hits deadline, they still can sign him and register him.
Yeah, they allow you a couple of hours afterwards, don't they, to get all the paperwork in order.
He was on the bench against us for Tuesday, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Was he on the bench?
Yeah.
So he's obviously fit. So
but look,
it's a bit of a risk, but
now
I've seen us not do medicals for players before and it turned up all right. So
now this is my gut feeling now, right? I reckon we're going to go in for Tosin. Eric Dyer will go to Fulham. Gallagher will come to Tottenham, with Højbjerg going the other way to Chelsea, and will go in. It may be a double deal from Chelsea for Chalobah and Gallagher. Højbjerg going the other way, and Dyer going for Tosin at Fulham.
That'll be the busiest 90 minutes in Spurs history. That all comes to pass.
Yeah, to be fair, that'd be amazing. It's 9:32, last of the transfer window. I'm usually crying by now that Spurs haven't brought anyone in.
Oh boy, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's just
Well, it's the hope that kills you, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it is.
I'd feel a lot more comfortable if we got another centre back in, even if
Yeah.
we can't get anyone else. Another
Now,
centre back in.
If this is a loan deal for Chaloba column, how does that loan deal work? I know it's different from a permanent deal, but what did what right, hang on, while you're doing that, I've got a bit of breaking news on the Tosin deal. Hold your horses. We will put this as a banner going across the bottom of the screen. So let me take that first bit off. This has just come in hot off the presses. Tottenham on high alert over Tosin and look to launch a last-minute bid to sign him. Now, what's your look before we get on to the loan thing, Colin? I'm sorry, Philip. What is your latest reaction to that breaking news?
I think that could be a double whammy if it involves Eric Dyer going the other way. It could solve two problems in one throw. We get our centre back and Dyer.
Anything with Dyer going anywhere is good for me. It's good with me.
Yeah, no, that'd be a great move.
Yeah.
I mean, if we got Gallagher on top of that, well, my God, that would be some last hour and a half. It'd be a record of last hour and a half for us.
Yeah. What do you reckon to that, Carl? Do you reckon we will? I mean, you've been saying it all week, to be fair.
I hope so. I believed all week that Dyer would go somewhere. I definitely believed all week that we'd get a centre back. I'm now in the mood of going, please just go to Fulham and give them every player that we've got for Paulinho, please, as well. Yeah, no, like I said, if we get a centre back, I'd feel a lot more comfortable about this window.
Yeah.
Obviously not 100% happy, but a lot more happy than what I was an hour ago.
Now, Colin, also look very quick. We'll go back to the loan thing. Now, how would this loan deal work? I know it's different from a normal contract. So how does that work? Can that be done quicker than, say, a bid?
It's roughly the same time because all your process, all your fitness and everything still needs to be done. But it can be a lot quicker because if it's just a loan deal, no fees or anything like that, which is very unlikely, I'm sure there's going to be a fee to pay. And if there's no clauses such as, obligation to buy clause and everything, the contracts and everything can be done very, very quickly. A loan deal can take up to probably about half an hour, 35 minutes.
Yeah. So what would you do, Philip? Would you go for the just another quick? Edwards has signed for Colchester. Ekateki's going to stay at PSG. Hugo Ekateki will stay at PSG this season despite interest from West Ham and Crystal Palace. That's according to RMC Sport in France. So that's the latest. And Colchester have signed Aurora Edwards from Bristol City for a undisclosed fee. The winger made 13 appearances for the club on loan in 2022 and has signed a contract until 2025.
Dermot, that has made my night. Who the hell he is has made my night.
Well, look, this is
a transfer. The Spurs ones, they're the only ones that matter to us now.
I know. Look, Philip, you seem to have perked up a bit after that news broke now. Are you sort of...
I can see, my worry is now, as I said, it's a hope that kills you.
Yeah.
Our hopes are now built up, and in an hour and a half time, they'll probably be slapped down again. So I'm just hoping there's something to this.
And there's other breaking news. Sorry, Philip. I've got to stop you there. Nice are making a late offer to Spurs for Hugo Lloris.
Yeah, well, they've cancelled the contract with Schmeichel, so that makes sense.
Nice have offered the contract to Tottenham goalkeeper Hugo Lloris. The French side have a vacancy in goal after terminating the contract to captain Schmeichel. Now,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
We could be
getting better all the time.
He wanted to go back. He wanted to go back to Nice, didn't he?
I tell you, all of them left, and it's only the four of us, and we're getting the best bit of the transfer window.
I think that Hugo Lloris one could be a real runner.
Yeah, I think so.
It's his former club. He's gone back to his home country, and and he maybe even be number one goalkeeper.
Yeah. Now, Colin, can you explain? I like this from What's the Point FC. He says, please take Dyer. He's brilliant, honestly. We'll be sad to see him go. Philip, how good is Eric Dyer? Fulham, any Fulham fans are watching.
How good is Eric Dyer? Right, okay. Do you remember the guy that used to play for what do you call him? Oh God, what's his name? I can't think of who. I can't think of the centre half name, but Eric Dyer is better than he was, and he's a really, the fact he hasn't got to move house out should be a big help to him as well. But Eric Dyer, actually, no, but seriously, Eric Dyer would be a good signing for Fulham because he needs a new direction in his life. He's stale at Tottenham. He needs to go somewhere after 10 years or 9 years, whatever it is. And Fulham will be a nice little club for him. He'd still be wearing a white shirt, so he wouldn't be passing to the wrong colours. And, he could do okay there. And about paying for the cab, I think we'd all chip in for that.
Yeah. I just want to take that off for a minute. If any fans are watching the film, this is how good Eric Dyer is. I mean, this shows how good this is Eric Dyer at his best. There you go. What do you reckon to that, Carl?
Oh yeah, nothing beats Fred live. That was Postecoglou trying to chase out the people who won't leave.
Right, we just got a bit more breaking news. This is really going to excite Philip. A 21-37, Philip. Now hold on to your hair on this one, right? Hold on to your hair. Walker loan to Morecambe. Blackburn forward Ethan Walker has completed a season-long loan move to Morecambe. The 21-year-old yet to make his senior debut for. Now, I tell you, you look like you're passed out there.
I'm sure it's a great move for the lad. I'm sure it is, but personally, I couldn't give a toss.
I just wanted to see your face for that one.
Come here, have Bonnie Rig Rose signed anybody yet? That's more important.
Do you know what? I actually have been looking. Seriously, I've been looking. I can't find anything. Maybe Colin can have a look for us.
Bonnie Rig Rose have had a good start to the season, haven't they?
Yeah,
They actually have, yeah. Colin, look, where have you on the Man? Because Man United are looking at what I'm reading. Manchester United also reportedly ready to make a loan and swap offer for Tucson, unknown if they will act. Now, I would be assuming if they are going to do a swap. Yeah. Now, are we more likely to get him than you?
100%.
You hear Carl sort of, oh, for fuck's sake.
I think if he's gonna,
we've given you Reggie. That's enough. Leave us alone.
I think if both go in for him, then yeah, I think you've definitely got more of a chance because we'd need Harry Maguire to leave, and that guy seems to be a statue outside at stadium right now. He's not going anywhere, unfortunately, for United fans. So yeah, I don't think we'll be getting him, unfortunately. I wouldn't mind it if we did. But
the thing is, Colin, though, why would Harry Maguire want to leave when he can still get into the England squad?
Oh, no, don't even get me started on that. I blatantly out on Twitter called him a complete muppet and everything because he's still picking Maguire. The guy hasn't kicked a football in God knows how long. I don't even think he knows how to kick a football, even when he did play 90 minutes every single game. I'm sure he doesn't know what he's to do in football. He thinks he's playing rugby or something, that guy.
Yeah, we've got Lazy 801. I don't know if it's the Lazy 8 that we know. Nick, if it is, let us know. Big up to you. And he goes, Ferdinand, Moore, Ramos, all mugs compared to Dyer. Take him to the cottage. Yeah. We've got What's the Point? FC says, LOL, that's Eric running away from another tackle. And Leslie Crawford, big up Leslie, saying too soon move to Monaco has fallen through. And Tequila 316, who is hammered apparently, Philip, according to one of his earlier messages, he said he was getting hammered watching us. Big up. It says Tucson's turned us down so many times. He's that desperate.
Maybe he turned us down because he would have preferred Monaco, but now Monaco's off the scene. Maybe he'll reconsider his options.
It was only because it was Monaco and he's French, isn't he, as well? So he wanted
And
to go back there.
That is Nick. Big up, Nick, from Lazy 8. Big up, Nick. Hope you're doing well, sir. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Now, look, we're still waiting for any more news there, Colin. Can you give us anything hopeful?
No, nothing at the minute. Like I say, it's all just quiet at the minute. I'm waiting for something to come through. I'm watching Sky Sports. I'm literally checking every single resource that I have available to me. There's just nothing at the moment. But there's still some time to go. Something might kick off shortly.
It's the calm, but it's the calm before the storm, isn't it? That's that last hour of madness when it starts picking up again.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably.
what has been your summers? Look, well, we are going to get into it. It's nearly an hour to go, Philip. So, where has been your summer signing of the summer? Who's been your top signing? Do you think? Of
James
any
Maddison. James
Yeah.
Maddison for us. We got him at less than half the price that the Gooners paid for Declan Rice, the traitor, as we call him. And yeah, I mean that was a great bit of business. It really was. And you know, he was. You know, I saw him play for Leicester against Spurs last season in the game that we won 6-2. But for the first half an hour, that guy was like a beacon on the pitch. He was dictating everything. He was brilliant. Now he's carried that form forward to Spurs, so good luck to him.
Yeah. Just to give you, sorry, Colin, just to Carl and Colin, Alamat Bella Ketchup has moved to PSV 15 minutes ago. Fabrizio Romero, here we go. Agreement reached with Southampton on a loan deal, so he won't be coming to Tottenham, which is a shame. That is a shame.
It's a bit saucy, that one, isn't
it?
The old ones are the best, you know.
Yeah, here we go. Fulham this is just right now, but Nottingham Forest have agreed a deal for €20 million, £20 million for Norwich, on by Bele, who plays for us, Philip.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
he's agreed.
Really unpronounceable name. Yeah, I heard that Norwich were holding out for a big fee for him, and they've got it now.
On by Bele's travelling for his medical from Rotherham now.
Rotherham to Nottingham, be a quick medical.
Yeah,
be a fit. Yeah, right. You sign there.
It's not worth it. Is a Rotherham player? Is not worth it.
No, he's a Norwich player on loan at Rotherham, isn't
he? Yeah.
Yeah, but that says everything. As soon as you play for Rotherham, you're worth about 50p.
Now, is that coming from a Doncaster fan? That would be like us saying Arsenal were good. Is that right?
That's 100% coming from the Doncaster fan side of me.
Also, with a bit of breaking news here as well, Liverpool have now announced the Gravenberch signing. Liverpool have completed the signing of Ryan Gravenberch. Now, it's just come off my screen. Where is it?
That's a good sign. Sky have it here as well. That's a good signing for Liverpool.
How much was it for, Philip? Because I did have to price up.
No, it's not really giving the price here. I haven't got the sound up, so I don't know.
I think it's 34.5, I think.
£34.2 million. The 21 midfielder has signed a 5-year deal. Jurgen Klopp has now signed 4 midfielders in this window as he revamps his squad. Philip, where do you think we need... Look, we might as well start looking ahead to January. As this window closes. Where do you think Ange will be looking now between now and the 1st of January?
You know, January is never a good time to buy players, in my opinion. Never really was. The decent ones are all contracted. And it's the ones that are in the team that are the ones that tend up getting sold in January. But that being said, okay, we'll go through the team. The goalkeeper was sorted, right? Right back, I think we've sorted with Porro and Royale. It depends on the centre-back situation. If we don't get Chalobah or Tosin in tonight, then yeah, centre-back is a priority in January. Midfield looks like we're pretty okay. And I would say, again, Johnson, see how he gets on wherever he plays him, but I would say another out-and-out striker. So a defender and a striker in January, if needs be.
Do you think, Carl, we should have gone for a striker and just today just all out for one or the other?
Yes, I have a horrible feeling that in January we're going to be sitting here when Richarlison has scored like 4 more goals, and we're like, why didn't we even take the risk on Gift Orban? Now, I have always backed for Richie. As you well know, I've always sort of said I'll give him a chance; it'll come good. But I don't know. I was watching his game against Fulham, and his touch was awful. He looked like he had no confidence. As soon as he got hit, he started limping, and I was just like, oh, why didn't we go for a Gift Orban or someone? There was enough of them out there. Even if it was just something like, oh, you have to trust the manager, don't you? He obviously didn't want to get anyone in that he didn't want, and that's it. I suppose we could play Son up front. But
Colin, any news going at the moment? Anything happening? Anything to talk about the Philip on the next question?
Anything happening? Nothing of any note now. To be honest with you, it's still very, very quiet at the minute.
Do you think, Philip, that this bit now is always the boring bit? There's always a lull bit before 11 o'clock, isn't there? And then suddenly, out of nowhere, some surprise deal gets over the line. Do you know what I mean? And we could be on here to midnight and still Tottenham are in talks to sign either Calabria or Philip's looking at his watch. Jesus, that late. Or Tucson. I mean, could you see something like that happening? Or do you really think Levy's sitting in his office tonight? Do you know what, lads? With Ange, right? Do you know what, lads? I think we've done all right this summer. We go with what we've got.
No, I think they're going at it. They're trying. They'll try until there's no time left.
Don't worry, guys. We're going to get 3 in the last hour.
But, it could go on too. You might not hear about it till 1 o'clock in the morning because they've got the couple of hours extension. If they put in a request for an extension, it'll generally be allowed. Up to 1 o'clock.
And do you know what? I will probably stay on to 1 o'clock till we know. If that is happening, I would stay on to that if the deal is official.
You'll be on your own.
You'll know.
If I decide, if my missus staying up to that time.
If there's going to be any kind of extension, then you'll know before the window closes that a club's asked for an extension.
Don't worry, Dermot will be. If we don't sign anyone, he'll be up till 4 in the morning.
Barcelona signed Raul Cancelo on loan.
Yeah, I've just put it up there, Philip, on the screen there. Yeah. Cancelo's officially signed for Barcelona.
Loan signing.
What were you saying there, Colin? Carl?
If we don't sign anyone, you'll be up until 4 in the morning, like getting constant red cards on FIFA in anger.
2-0 to West Ham.
You'll be getting dumped out at Cup by Doncaster Rovers again,
don't start that again. Look, it was a bad game. I actually, to be fair, I went 9 games without a win, and they still didn't sack me.
That's because Daniel Levy's in charge. You don't want to pay compensation.
Yeah, I know. I said to him,
Mohamed El Fayed passed away.
Who?
Mohamed El Fayed.
Oh, has he really?
No.
Yeah.
The former owner of Fulham.
Yeah.
And American Dylan. Didn't his son die with Princess Diana?
Yeah, Dodie. Yeah.
Dodie, yeah. Oh well, our condolences to the. Yeah. Was he the man that put to the Michael Jackson statue outside Craven Cottage?
Oh yes, he was. The best statue ever outside a football stadium.
Can I just ask a question, right? And that's nothing to do with the transfer window. Why?
Why not?
Michael Jackson.
Why?
Why not?
Because he loved Michael Jackson. He loved him.
Well, why not put a statue off of a famous Fulham player or a manager or Bobby Robson, who actually managed Fulham?
Michael Jackson were a Fulham fan.
Yeah.
Who's more
famous than the King of the King of Pop?
Wow.
Well, that means we should have a statue of Bob Marley outside our place.
Yeah, we should do. With a spliff in one hand and him saying no worries in the other.
Don't pretend you wouldn't like a statue under the clockwork clock, Dermot. Don't you?
You leave me in the clock alone. See, bollocks.
Lovely.
Leslie's saying no big clubs have taken a chance on Auburn. He needs to produce a better level or they reduce his fee. And Tequila's saying Daniel Levy. I've got to do this, Philip. I've got to do this. Sorry. I've got this. Eric Dyer thing, right, was the most funniest thing in pre-season, Philip, I have ever seen in my entire life. You know, when you get up to a free kick, you've got James Madison, you've got players who can take a free kick. Up comes Eric Dyer. I've got this, lads. I've got this. And then promptly hits the wall. I mean, that's just Eric Dyer summed up.
know.
With the key list says, well, Michael Jackson did a song called Dirty Diana.
Ooh.
So it wasn't all that bad. Never know. I don't know.
Luton scored against West Ham. Luton won, Fulham 2.
Do you
4
know that
minutes of injury time.
Do you know that was their first game at Craven Cottage for over 30 years,
Yeah.
Philip?
First game in the Premiership.
Right. So let's see any latest column you can tell us anything happening?
Yeah. There's been a bird outside my window. That's flew by.
I have a moth flying down the light here. That's an
yeah,
email.
Actual bird or
yeah,
female
one
bird?
with wings. One with wings.
Oh no. So it isn't Mia trying to get into you then, no?
No, it's not. I've escaped the dungeon. She can't find me right now.
Oh, okay.
I'd love to be invited. I'd love to be invited to a dungeon.
Do you know what?
You don't want to be there.
Yeah. I don't know where I'm going with this stream. This stream's suddenly going a bit.
Downhill, all right.
Yeah, it's all right for you sitting there, Mr. lying back there, nice and comfortable, waiting for you. Watch, as soon as Tottenham signs somebody, he will spark into life. Philip's like a what did Del Boy say to Granddad? It looked like he was a lamp waiting for electric to come into action.
Oh, right. The abuse I take,
Yeah.
It's not right, Philip. Tell him. Don't stand for it, Philip.
Look, at least we. I know we joined the partnership with your channel, column. One of the biggest deals we got over was the right color M&Ms for you, wasn't it, Philip?
Oh, those bloody pink M&Ms are killers. So really
I tell you, signing the contract with Colin's channel, right? That was like doing work with Daniel Levy. I mean, there was so much work in it, wasn't there, Philip? It was, wasn't there, Red? Shocking.
Well, I was surprised at myself, really.
Yeah.
So picky.
Did you guys read the fine print on page 725?
No. Why?
Oh wow!
Is that the one where we've got to run around naked if Tottenham win the league?
No. That's on page 800.
What was on page 735 then?
The fine print on it was, at least once every 3 months, Philip has to eat pink M&Ms on screen. But you've signed it now, so you can't back out of it.
Anyway, to change the subject, West Ham are still top of the league. They've beaten Luton 2-1.
And really, I don't give a shit about West Ham. I mean,
we need to score about what? We need to score 2 more goals and then tomorrow to go back to the top of the league.
Yeah,
that's one thing. I'm quite interested in. I'm surprised because obviously United need a striker. Obviously, you guys needed a striker.
Mm-hmm.
What? No, not the bird out my window. No, I'm wondering why nobody actually went in for what's his face, Antonio.
Because he's a shithead.
But he can hold the ball up very well.
He can, yeah. He's heavy. He's all right. He's sort of a poor man's Lukaku, really. Isn't he? He's sort of even though he's probably a better player than Lukaku, to be honest. Yeah, true enough. Yeah.
What's the point said? It could be worse. It could have been worse, Philip. It could have been Pink Lady's underwear, but he gets that chucked to them every Tuesday, Wednesday night anyway.
We're all full of that.
Yeah, I know you were. Carl, I was hoping you'd back me up. You're supposed to be my wingman on this. You let me down, man. You let me down.
I can't do that. Look at Philip. He's in charge, the complete charge. I'm waiting for him. All I know is Philip's sitting there. He's got Sky Sports on. He's waiting for it to appear outside the Tottenham training ground, and that's when he'll perk up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So, I mean, what's what I'm looking for? In a kind of a coma at the minute, waiting for the Spurs news to come through. Oh,
well, how do you feel? Look,
it's going to happen.
Yeah, how do you feel about the Johnson deal, Philip? 47.5 million plus add-ons. Are you? Do you know what I said today? I said in the group chat, Philip. I felt very underwhelmed by the signing, not because of who he is, but I think the price as well. Do you think we should have gone for somebody like a Vlahovic or somebody more experienced?
Yeah, we should. Of course, we should have. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay. I'm willing to give. I'm sure the guy will do a good job for us. But like yourself, normally I'd be buzzing with excitement over a signing like this. I'm barely raising a. He's maybe, you know, I just can't get any excitement. Mainly because we've paid too much for him. There's no way a guy at 21 years of age with one season experience in the Premiership is worth 47 million. Not a hope, you know. But we'll just have to suck it up and have to go along with it. And if he does a job for us, fair dues. If he doesn't, then Levy will be under fierce pressure for overpaying. Like, he's not getting pilloried too much about Richarlison, though. And Richarlison was a classic example of overpaying, you know. So, you know, we'll have to wait and see what happens with Johnson. Now, obviously, he's not going to be playing tomorrow, which means his first game is going to be Sheffield United in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And Carl, look, we all wanted a big striker. Do you feel with Harry Kane? Look, I've always said there had to be a plan put in for the Harry Kane once we sold Harry Kane. Now, a lot of people have said to me, Dermot, you're talking a lot of nonsense, Dermot. You don't know what you're talking about. You're being silly. But I do feel there should have been a plan put in place. If we sell Harry, we're going either Vlahovic, Orban, or some other striker. Why do you think? Do you think because of Scott Munn? I don't know what his job is. I really don't know what he's doing at the club. I don't even know if he's actually at the club or Levy just said something just to make himself look good. But do you know what I mean, Carl? What actually have we done on the striker point? Did we really think? I know this is a long-winded question. Philip says to me my questions go a bit long-winded.
It's a bit like War and Peace, isn't it? Your question.
Look, Philip's got on to his.
Karen, come back to me in 10 minutes when you finish it.
What's going to win first, the transfer window or Dermot's question?
Very debatable. Very debatable.
Carl, who should we have gone for?
Dermot, can you repeat that whole question, please?
That's a good one, Carl. Well done.
Where's Scott Munn gone?
Scott Munn is in Levy's cupboard, not being allowed to be starting yet, unfortunately. I don't know, because if you believe what the rumours are, Brendan Johnson was Ange's top choice. He was his number one target. So obviously he wanted to step away from having a Harry Kane sort of up front and no one else really doing anything, and everyone involved. But I don't know. I think we're underwhelmed because there was a lot of rumours for some big name strikers that Spurs were in talks with or talking about, and then nothing ever happened. And then it's got to now, and it's like, oh, we didn't bring anyone in. I mean, if Richarlison thought the pressure was bad already trying to replace Kane, you wait now that we didn't bring in another striker. It's going to be unbelievable.
Just to give you up to date, the last window to close actually is now the French window. The French window is shut. So that's now gone. So we can't do any dealings with the French side. Now, in France, do they have an extension as well, Colin, like for the Nice, for the Lloris deal?
Yeah, all clubs have an extension, but they would have to put the extension request in before the window closes. I've not seen anywhere stating that they have done that, so it looks as though that is off. The Hugo deal is now off.
I think what you'll find, you are now going to see after the transfer window closes, I think you're going to see that Spurs have released Hugo Lloris from his contract, so he can then go to Nice on a free transfer.
Yeah, I'll say that.
Free transfers can be done at any time, but
I think
the concept now is.
I think you'll find that Spurs will just release him.
Would you put Eric Dyer into that same contract as well, Carl?
I'd put Eric Dyer anywhere, to be honest. I just can't believe the life of me of a 29-year-old footballer who, let's face it, most fans would give anything to be a footballer, refused to leave, even though he knew that the chances were he wasn't going to be registered.
I just want to say big up to Paul. Pablo says, same story with players still here. Lo Celso, Dombele, etc. How many managers have they seen off? We've got Tequila. couldn't even get a loan for Don Bele this time. Well, I think I know we can get. Philip, is that shop still looking for a shop assistant in your village?
No, they actually heard he was looking for a job, so they closed up and moved away.
That's fair enough.
Literally, I say as soon as the transfer window ends, we offer every single one of them out to every Saudi team, and hopefully someone picks them up.
Yeah,
I bet you go to the worst Saudi team in their league, right? Who hasn't got a television, who's never watched the Premier League, and just send them videos of prime Maradona and Pele, and just stick their heads on their bodies, right? And just tell them this is.
Look, we got
the team out there.
Stephen Gerrard's there. He would love people who can speak English in his team.
Can't
Come on,
even speak
that would be
English.
perfect for him.
Actually, I heard there's a team out in Saudi Arabia called Al Kaselser. Is that correct?
I think there is.
It's where all the drums go and play.
Oh, Philip, you never disappoint. You never really disappoint.
I think what we need to happen is we need an announcement that Gareth Southgate's been sacked from England. He's taken over a club in Saudi Arabia, and then he'll take the likes of Dyer and everybody.
Yeah.
Now get the band back together.
Now this is just broke, and a minute ago. I know we said it before, but it's come up again. Needs to make late offer to Lloris. So that is still out there. So maybe the extension has been put in.
Maybe.
Look, he was a great 7 for us. It's now time for him to.
I
finish his
career.
Are you two absolutely on the train of sentimental? He was an absolute ricket for the last 3 seasons.
But Dermot,
I was thinking for the 7 years before that.
Yeah, I mean, give him credit for what he did for us. Now, come on.
Oh yeah, he was great for 7 years.
Last season, you know.
I'm more thinking of the mistake he made in the North London derby that got Arsenal back into it when they beat us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but
I think if you went through the whole of Lloris's Tottenham career, he has probably won a small points and lost.
Yeah.
So
I think he deserves to go on a free transfer, and
Now Eric Dyer for me deserves a statue outside the club.
Sure, he is a statue anyway. He doesn't need to be.
I want to say big up to Hot God 10. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, James.
How's it going?
How are you doing? We've got Tequila. Hello, lad. We've got Paul Pablo. What is Levy's plan this season? It's top or bottom 4? Now we're top 4. We're not going to be in bottom 4.
Bottom 4.
Yeah. We've got what's the point?
17th.
Yeah, what's the point, FC? He says, Basuma Sarr will go to the African Nations Cup for a month. Alfie Devine was sent out on loan. Madison will be our only creative midfielder left. And Tequila say, no, you keep Dyer. Because he's our backup. No.
Would it be that long? Because isn't the way the winter break ends this year, isn't the African Nation? It's only like 4 weeks.
Yeah, it is.
And they're not, I don't know, they're not, I'm not being horrible, but they're not with teams that are going to probably win it, are they?
No. Can I just also, Bella Ketchup has completed his loan move to PSV. There you go. So he wants to come to Tottenham.
Yeah, Mark Cucurella and everybody's staying now. They're not leaving.
Oh, that's at Chelsea.
Yep, they're staying at Chelsea.
So we're not getting him in then.
No, Cucurella is staying at Chelsea.
I'm really not.
Not Shadaba. Yeah, not sure about him yet.
Philip, look, I want to talk a little bit about transfer window or transfer market. I read somewhere, I don't know if you saw it, Colin. Can you send me what you said earlier about, what was it, 2 billion they've spent? I don't know if there's a graph. Do you know the one I'm on about? I want to see. Can I find it here?
I've got no idea. They have spent stupid money, though. I know that much.
Yeah. Now, Philip, I mean, what do you remember? Do you know transfer deadline day back? Oh, here we go. I found it now. In 2016, guys, right? They spend the Reds to spending and the Green is to receive, right? Let me see. Can I share this? If I can. Let's see. Can I share this now? Because this actually makes Very good reading. So let me see now. Can you see that, guys? Yeah. So
Make
the
like
red,
these red bars on the screen. That's all I can see.
yeah, the red is spending, the green is receiving, right?
Right.
2016, the transfer window on the whole spent 1.19 billion, and clubs received 498.62 million. Into 2017, it was 1.49 billion, received 781.69 million. 2018, 1.27 billion, and then 2019, 1.4 billion. 2020, 1.3 billion. 2021, 1.212 billion. That's when the pandemic was on. Last summer, Philip and Colin, with that 2.14 billion. This season alone, this summer, right? 2.27 billion clubs are spent, and they've received a whopping 1.29 billion.
So most of that, well, we got to that is Chelsea's 1.1
So
billion.
the question I'm asking, Philip, I've said it during the week. I think it's a discussion worth happening while we're waiting for news on any clubs. Can a transfer cap work in the Premier League, or what does have to happen for them? Because an average, Philip, it's gone up for 1.19 billion in 2016 to 2.27 billion in 2023.
Yeah,
that is just unreal.
it is. Legally, I don't know if the FA can impose a cap. Probably not, because it is free enterprise. You know, clubs can spend what they want, providing it's within the rules. So I don't know if it's. I know it's ridiculous figures, but I don't think there's anything can be done about it. To be honest,
No,
there should be something done about it, but I don't think it'll happen.
Right now, how much has your club spent the summer 2023, Philip? Now I'm going to go through this. This is mind-boggling. Chelsea, 434.5 million. Man City have spent 216.3 billion. Arsenal spent 208 million. Man United has spent 183.5 billion. Column. Tottenham has spent 164.8 million. So they're 1, 2, 3. They're the fifth. They've spent at the moment. They're fifth in the league for spending money this summer. So they spent 164.8 million.
Yeah, we haven't spent any money according to some. Just shows you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Liverpool, 131.2 million, 130 million for Newcastle, which I thought Newcastle would be up there, guys. With the big guys. West Ham, 122.6 million. Bournemouth has spent 117.3 million. Villa has spent 97 million. Brighton has spent 84.1 million. Sheffield United, 54.2 million. And Brentford, 54 million. Burnley, 48.6. Palace, 46. 43.7 for Forest. Wolves, 43.5. Everton, 38.7. Fulham, 38.7. And little old Luton only spent 9.5 million.
£10.50.
Yeah. But Philip, for fans, 164.8 million. And fans say we haven't spent money.
Yeah, I know.
I think we have.
We have. We might not have spent it all in the right place, though, or overspend on some players. But okay, when you take Harry Kane's money out of that, it's a net 90 million or 85 million.
Yeah.
You know, so it's still a fair bit of money, but it's still how will I put this? Still not enough, because we should have got another centre back in. So you can have should have been another 25 million on top of that at least. Yeah. So yeah.
I think.
Sorry, yeah, go on, Colin.
Oh, everyone's gone. I know you went on about it a few weeks ago, because obviously everybody was concerned that the Harry Kane money had already been spent. And I think you brought up saying, you know, a chunk of it has been spent. I think personally that the rest of the Harry Kane money has gone on this lad from Forest.
Yeah.
Now,
like it.
As you can see at the bottom of the screen, guys, and I read out, it looks like the Tucson is set to stay as it stands. Carl, no crying yet. Okay, please don't start crying or throwing chairs or plates or cups or whatever. Please don't.
Jesus, I couldn't. If I wake the kids up, my wife would kill me.
Okay.
There's 48 minutes left.
As it stands at this moment, deals are still on the cards, but time is running out. Do you know what? Do you remember Berbatov back in the day, guys? 5 to midnight, you could see him walking up to Alex Ferguson's office.
Fraser bloody Campbell. Jesus.
I know. Whatever happened to him, by the way?
Oh, Jesus.
He realised he was no good at football, went to professional ice skating.
Are you kidding me?
He kept falling over there as well.
I think he ended up at Holden, didn't he?
He did. Paul Pablo says, I've said it before, the best thing is Tottenham would get relegated, leaving Co would disappear like a rat down the drain. Shares would have the value shake, the money would buy a Newcastle Man City.
Cry for a year.
No chance. No. Can't agree with that. Can't agree with that. I've seen Spurs get relegated. You do never want to see that again. Never want to see it again. Regardless of who's in charge.
How did you feel, Philip, when they got relegated? What was your feeling of that day and the next day?
Absolutely sick for that day and the next day, for the whole bloody season. Because, I mean, what happened there is we deserved to get relegated. We really did. And that was all down to agent Terry Neal coming from Arsenal and fecking off and leaving us in the lurch. I know Keith Birkinshaw was the manager when we went down, but fair dues to for sticking with him. But it was Terry Neal's fault we went down. That season we were in the second division. It was a breath of fresh air to the second division because it'd never been I know Man United had been down 3 or 4 seasons before that, but it was one of the biggest teams ever to be relegated for the last, around that time. And the crowds we drew in, everywhere we went, we got huge crowds. And we were playing very well, winning matches, beating Bristol Rovers 9-0. We were scoring goals for fun. Then about 10 matches from the end of the season, I could be wrong about that, the jitters set in, the nerves set in. We started losing games. We only drew 3-3 away at Mansfield. Imagine 3-3 at Mansfield, right? We got up. I was over in London for the last week of the season, and I went to the Hull game, which is the second last game. It's the last home game of the season. Billy Bremner was at the end of his career playing for Hull at the time, and the Hull goalkeeper had the game of his life. I think with something like 30 corners in the game. We were bombarding them, but couldn't score. And then the 82nd minute, corner came in. I can never remember whether it was Chris Jones pushed the goalkeeper blatantly and got away with it, and Steve Perryman scored, or vice versa. But we won that game 1-0, right? And that lent us going to Southampton on the last day of the season, needing a point to go up, right? And only the width of the crossbar at Southampton kept us to a 0-0 draw, and we got up by the skin of our teeth. Now, if we hadn't gone up that season, we would never have got Ozzy Ardiles or Ricky Villa. There would never have been the cup wins of the 80s and whatever. So it just shows you that blip in 77, 78 in the second division that nearly cost us promotion could have altered the entire structure and history of the club. We were lucky. We got away with it. And I never want to see that again. Never.
You've scared me. There you go, Paul. There's your answer. The Godfather's given to you straight. He said, yes, we've had 100 million for Kane, so it might be 5th, but we've lost Kane and not replaced. That is actually true. That is very true. Paul Pablo.
They're at the Tottenham ground again here. Hold on.
Okay. You are right, Carl. He does get all excited when he sees Tottenham come on the telly.
It's when he sees Michael Bridge, he gets all excited.
He does. You can see him. Look, he's up there and he's... What do you reckon, Colin?
To be fair, they're not saying much.
No, what do you reckon, Colin? He does look a bit excited. Look, he's looking at his watch. Do you know?
Sorry, I'm just listening to what he was saying. Brendan Johnson's done.
Yeah. Woohoo.
That's been done. By the looks of things, Nice have got the extension because that deal for Lloris is still going ahead from what he's stating. And he's saying about Chalobah, it might be a little bit late, but I fully expect if Spurs want Chalobah, they will announce that they've applied for an extension within the next 5-10 minutes or so.
Oh,
Look
please,
at Philip, Carl.
please.
Look at him. Just look at him, guys. He just looks. It's so intense there.
He's back.
It-
He's back.
It's like I really want David Attenborough to narrate Philip when he's watching Sky Sports. It'd be the
He's
most
back.
funny.
He's back.
It'd be the most
And
funny.
here we see.
Yeah, but shut up, would you? Let me tell what went on there. Jesus, you rub it on so much. No, nothing much. He was going on about how Chelsea and Spurs never do business. And the last player that we signed from them was Carlo Cudicini back in the day. But he says he's not going anywhere, but he doesn't think that anything's going to happen. That's basically what.
Well, that was
Come on,
totally
Mark.
different to what Colin just said.
What was he saying? What the?
He was just saying. He was
Did he say anything
saying.
about Hugo? Hello.
He was saying about Hugo Lloris. Tottenham
Hello?
have said that these can
I
speak
didn't
to
get
him.
that bit. I didn't get that bit.
Yeah. Tottenham have given these permission to speak to Lloris. So obviously their window's closed. So they've got the extension that they wanted to try and get that deal over the line.
Oh, good. I'd say that one will happen. Actually, I was very surprised.
Yeah, I reckon that'll happen.
Oh, I tell you one thing, Philip. I did miss you. You're such fun to do a stream with. You're really, you're great. You could have the crack with you. Do you know what I mean? But it really was, wasn't it, Carl? He suddenly he was back there chilling. He saw Tottenham, and it was like, right, Tottenham are on.
It's like
He's in the zone.
I'm getting an
He's in the
electric
zone.
shock.
And the best bit, Philip, is you looked at your watch, so we knew something was happening.
No, do you know what actually happened? A news alert came up when we watched that. Mohammed Al Fayed was dead. So that's what I was watching. You know.
So that's why Colin was starting to do the David Attenborough sort of thing on you.
Right, okay.
That would have been funny. The next time Sky Sports come up, Philip, we're going to do the David Attenborough thing on you.
We could just talk over it. We could do like, you get those quiz shows where you get the video and then people like say what they're saying when there's no volume on. We could do that.
I tell you one thing. I hope people have enjoyed this deadline show. We really haven't taken it too seriously, really, have we?
Probably just as well, you know. I'm just talking about taking it seriously. Do you know what I've been doing? Watching a lot of them in the last while is reruns of the old Monty Python stuff.
Oh,
and
that's
it's
so funny.
Unbelievable. Some of the stuff they come out with, brilliant.
Now, guys,
Gaddafi. I'm a Monty Python fan. It's a kind of symmetry about it, you know.
Yeah, there's. It's not Gaddafi. Gaddafi was a bloody Libyan bloody warlord. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks, Philip. Gaddafi.
Greenwood.
Gaddafi FC.
Gaddafi is Greenwood.
Jesus.
Oh dear.
Oh, look, I've done a lot of streaming today. I'm tired. All right, give me a break.
Showing all right.
Yeah, sitting there. Look at you, chilled out there. Champagne in one side of you. Orange M&M's next to you. Look at that.
Big ones.
He's going to ring the bell in a minute for more champagne.
If I rang a bell, I get a bucket of water chucked over me. I tell you.
That I would love to see.
Stick around, you just might.
To be fair, the reason why Colm's not on camera is because he's streaming from a hot tub.
I wish.
He's in the hot tub with Reglund's girlfriend as well. So there we go.
No, the reason I'm not streaming, I've got Daniel Levy sat next to me, just keeping an eye on me, making sure I don't say anything. You know, that's why I ain't got camera on.
We just want to ask. He asked Daniel a question. Will he wear a wig at the next home game?
It's just gone over to Chelsea here at the minute. Hold on.
Okay, look, he's off again. Go on, Colin. Go on, do your David Attenborough. Okay, go on.
And here we see Philip turning up his TV to hear about the Chelsea news. He doesn't seem very impressed that David Attenborough is watching him in his natural habitats.
If David Attenborough's not a Spurs fan, he can feck off.
I think I killed Philip. But no, I'm sorry.
Term is done.
Oh Lord. Oh dear, that is the most funny thing.
Dermot died with 38 minutes to go.
Yeah. Oh dear, that was really funny. Oh Jesus. Anyway,
He's
Philip's
still
ready.
rapping.
He's still rabbiting, is he? Oh dear. There we go. We got Oh dear. Go on, Carl. Do you want to take some of these? I just need to get a drink. Go on, take some of these comments here. Go on.
Can you click them? Can you click them down for me, Dermot? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Paul Pablo in the same shoe window
That's
fans with
something happening
the Levy and the man on a yacht. Oh, it's so yeah, Lewis and his yacht.
What's this, buddy? Oh yeah,
Sorry, just reading them, Phil.
Oh yeah,
Just reading them. Yeah.
James, I'll tell you, we just signed Jimmy Greaves.
Sorry, my behind the transfer dealings was today.
We just signed Jimmy Greaves. Yeah, not a lot. Well, what's his name? Brendan Johnson's having his medical at the moment, and there was rumours that Olsen was going to come in from Fulham and maybe Dyer in part exchange, but that doesn't seem to be going anywhere. But Hugo Lloris may be going to Nice, which is one bit of positivity. So that's about it, I think.
Paul Pablo says, I remember back in the day when Sydney Whale broke the British transfer record buying Martin Peters. What has happened to my Tottenham?
Yeah, got rid of Jimmy Greaves at the same time.
Now, Philip, was there a deadline day, Philip, in your day when you were younger?
No, it probably was. I don't remember. There probably was, yeah. Although I don't think it was around in the 70s. It may have come in around the time of the Premiership, I think. I'm open to correction now. I don't remember it. It certainly wasn't a TV event like it is now anyway.
No. If you are enjoying this, please hit the like button, subscription button. If you do want to pick up a membership, do. If you want to put in the super chat, it does help the channel, and it really does help us grow, Philip, doesn't it? And do you want to say a bit on what do you get for your memberships? We've got the competition, which we're going to do Monday, are we?
Updating the scores on that now over the weekend, and the winner gets a membership, a Tottenham membership next summer, and the person that comes second gets an Arsenal membership. Anyway. We will be having another competition starting in September as well. We're just working on that one as well,
Yeah.
In the next few weeks, hopefully, got Norman Giller coming on to talk about his new book about Jimmy Greaves and Alan Gilzean. Now, for those of you who don't know who Norman Giller is, you should do. He was the legendary reporter for the Daily Express back in the day. And even though he covered all the London matches, he was a real Spurs fan, but had to keep it under his hat. But what he used to do was, he used to be wingman to Jimmy Greaves and Alan Gilzean on their legendary boozing sessions. And I'd say the book now, he's probably not telling half of it, but I'd say what's in the book will be very interesting. So Norman has kindly agreed to come on and have a chat with us and talk about things Tottenham gone back over the years, because he's a Spurs fan since the 1960s or early 60s. So he's a real character.
I tell you who I'm going to try also to get on again is Steve Perriman. I'll try to get him on one more time.
Yeah. And Mickey Haslam was a great guest as well.
I let you talk to these legends, because I'm not when I talk to them, I just get all tongue tied.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I just go. Right, just a big breaking news here. 7 minutes ago, Zenit failed with their Ekitike approach. Johnson has completed his Spurs move. We bought a player. 47.5 million after us declaring he'd become a Spurs player at 4 o'clock.
Hang on a bit now. Who's this Esikiti, that fella that gets priority in your mentioning? You should have said Johnson's a Spurs player first, then the other one.
Well, he was 7 minutes ago. I was going in order.
Fuck that. Never mind the other teams. They don't count.
Okay. And 10 minutes. Bournemouth are working on a deadline to sign Sines. Who's that one, Colin, from Leeds to
Sines. Oh, God, I can't even say his name. Yeah, I know you're on about that winger.
Yeah. It's been a long day, hasn't it, Colin, to be fair?
It has. Honestly, it's transfer deadline day just drains it out of you, doesn't it?
It does. And then Marston is staying at Chelsea, according to the CAD. And Ross County, Philip, have signed High on loan. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. It's actually true.
There's
some more news that's going to get you depressed.
Oh, God, go on. Just get it out of the way. Have you put it in the private chat?
Yeah, I've just seen it.
Oh,
Yeah.
for
It's the hope that kills you.
Go on, Philip. Here, I'll put it in the banner, Philip, and you can break it in your
It was
You can
with
actually
extreme regret that we announced that.
yeah. It was with regret that we just
The
here you
Tosin is
go.
going to stay where he is, and Chalobah is going to stay at Chelsea.
No,
So it
Tucson
looks
had,
like the only other outgoing we're going to have is Hugo Lloris to Nice.
well,
It
Tucson
rhymes
has
that. Lloris to Nice, Lloris to Nice, Lloris to Nice. And
Tucson hasn't said he's staying at Fulham yet, Philip, has he? What's that come through?
it says he's set to stay. It doesn't mean he said he's staying. He's set to stay. But listen, we've 23 minutes to go.
Well, Sky Sports said Harry Kane was set to stay at Tottenham, and look what happened to him.
Yeah, but that wasn't 23 minutes to go in the transfer window.
Well, no, what Sky Sports said he was set to stay. To be fair, look, I'm with Carl. I'm still holding up. We're going to buy a centre back and Derek Dyer going the other way.
Right.
I think you may be on your own now, Dermot. I think I've just been deflated.
Don't be deflated. Don't be Philip. Look, very quickly. Let's talk about. I know you don't want to talk, but I think it's worth talking about it. Mason Greenwood deal. Philip, look, you know my thoughts on this deal. I think he should be banned from football. And I know your attitude is he's been proven innocent and all this. But Philip,
no, he hasn't been found guilty. I think that's the thing, Dermot. It's a slight difference there. He was never brought to trial, so he wasn't found guilty.
Yeah, but the point I'm trying for the seriousness of the allegations, let me put it that way. I think he shouldn't be allowed to play football again, Philip. I'm sorry. I feel that strongly on it.
Okay, listen. Morally, you're probably right, but legally, you're way out the game. You can't ban somebody from their profession just because you think they're guilty or what they did was maybe forcing the other person to withdraw the charges. Until he's found guilty in court, he's entitled to do what he likes. Really, you know. Mightn't be morally wrong, but legally, he's quite right to do what he's doing.
Connor, we're just gonna see if there's any. Oh, for fuck's sake! Oh Lord God, Philip, you got more bad news to announce. So get your hang on, just let me put it in the banners. Hang on, I've just seen what columns. Hang on, I can't copy and paste this. Just copy and paste.
I'll just read it out, sure.
Can you look in the private chat? Can you?
Yeah, Tosin staying at Fulham. Club's left it too late to get any deal over the line as it stands. Now, that may be down to the fact that Monaco only pulled out of the deal late this evening. There may not have been time. Like if Monaco pulled out this morning, then maybe fair enough. But it's very hard to get done so quickly.
Colin, is it
happen?
Yeah, Colin, is there any way for this deal to get done?
Yeah, if anybody's got a time machine and could go back in time, then I think it's too late now. I think the extension request should have gone in by now. Doesn't seem like there's any news on any kind of goings like that. So I think it's a case of too little, too late now.
You might have just signed Amrabat on loan anyway. You've got your man.
Yeah.
And Greg Selling says, "Good evening, everyone. No centre backs. Any news on Source? I think that's what's dead in the water, isn't it?
Yeah, that's dead.
Transfer window's closed.
Looks like we've got Eric Dyer staying at the club. Lord Jesus Christ Almighty.
Great.
Anyway, Philip, how do you feel now? Do you feel a bit?
Yeah, as I said, it's pointless getting your hopes up. You know, you're better off just hearing something like that coming out of the blue rather than getting our hopes up and then being dashed again, you know? So, I mean, it was good for an hour there. We thought we might be getting somewhere, but we're not. So, back to
anyway.
I just love to see social media tonight and tomorrow morning. It's going to be toxic. Absolutely toxic.
Fleetwood Town tie down Simons on loan. Fleetwood have signed Xavier Simons on loan from Hull City.
They have to tie him down before they sign them.
Yeah.
Mustn't have wanted to go there.
Sounds a bit kinky myself, but never mind.
It does, yeah.
Why not?
Now look, we'll go over the deadline day deals here, guys. With half an hour to go. Right, Premier League. any big deals? We've got Ryan Graybridge, Ajax to Liverpool. Cole Palmer, Man City to Chelsea. Philip, what's your thoughts on that deal? That's a bit of a weird one, isn't it?
Just a case of Chelsea buying up another player, basically. We've got used to that in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, a bit surprising. Really. I mean, I thought that guy had a future at Man City. He's a good player. Again, a guy that's made a handful of first-team appearances going for 43 million. Just shows you how mad the whole thing is, really, you know. But I don't know where he's going to fit in at Chelsea. There are that many players playing in that midfield area. So, you know, they might loan them out again come January when he's played no games.
Colin, you've got a few players in. Reglon came in today. Johnny Evans has signed a 1-year contract with you.
That's my summer signing of the window, though.
Yeah, that is. And also, Asu Fati has gone from Barcelona to Brighton. Longlay's gone from Barcelona to Villa.
We should have signed Longley.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to go around the house with this. I'll start with you, Philip. Then I go to you, Carl, and then you, Colin. Philip, look, we've got half an hour left of the window now. It doesn't look like anything else is going to happen. So really, we're off closed shop now. Out of 10, what would you give this transfer window and why?
Right, I'm going to split it up. I think this transfer window needs to be broken down into incomings and outgoings. Because if you allow the disappointment of the outgoings to temper your elation of the incomings, it's going to be a low score. So what I would say, I would give it 7 out of 10 for the incomings and 2 out of 10 for the outgoings. So really, we haven't got rid of the 3 players. Okay, Lloris may be gone. The 2 players are causing us a lot of grief, Dyer and Ndombele. They're still here.
Yeah. And Carl, what's your thoughts on it all?
Incomings, 6 out of 10. Purely because I like the players we brought in, but I don't think we did the business we needed to do. We didn't strengthen where we needed to strengthen. We didn't get another centre back, which is a massive mistake. Didn't get a striker. I still think we could have done stuff, even though I do think the people we brought in were good. It just means Ashley Phillips, I think, is going to have to step up. In regards to outgoings, very much like Phillips, it's probably like 4 out of 10. We just didn't get rid of the players we needed to get rid of to make this successful. And I did, ironically, us not getting those players out stopped us from getting players in.
And Colin, look, on the Man United for before we'll go back to you, Philip, because there's all the ingoings and I'm going to bring up the outgoings as well. But Colin, look, where do you stand with Man United? Do you think Ten Hag or the Glazers, your greatest ever owners of your mighty club that who have owned you with great distinction and great honour? Do you know, how do you think they've done? Are you happy with the Glazers? And, you know, are you going to go tomorrow morning, do you know, open your arms and say, we love you, Glazers. We want you to stay at our club.
We're past watershed, aren't we now? So
yeah,
anything goes. Okay. Yeah. Well, first of all, on the Glazers, I wouldn't piss on them if they were on fire. I wouldn't. I can't stand them. The transfer business we've done. Yeah, okay, we've got Amrabat in. Mason Mount, I don't know why we've signed Mason Mount, but we've got him in. From a United perspective, I'd give this a 4 out of 10. If I'm going to be honest with you, because we've signed 1 striker, we needed 2. Yeah, we've got Anthony Martial, but that guy's made of glass and he's injured 99.9% of the season anyway. Harry Maguire's still here. Rafael Varane's out injured. We haven't brought in another centre-back. So, yeah, I'm not happy, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, but let's face it, Colin, no one can take dividends like the Glazers.
No.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That is very, very true.
Just a couple of signings, Philip. Stewart has joined Southampton. Southampton have completed the sign of Ross Stewart from Sunderland. Luke.
Huh?
I
thought Rod Stewart was a singer.
Yeah, it's all right. Well, there you go. And they got Luku Garner has signed for Luton on loan. Arsenal midfielder.
Yeah.
Look, Philip, I'll just see if there's any more latest. Amber Bratz put out a statement saying he's joined the club of his dreams. So there you go.
It's a good signing. I think
it is a good signing.
It's a quality signing.
Now, Philip, look, we all know Maddison was probably the the signing of the window out of that lot. But who else are you impressed with who we've bought this summer?
The goalkeeper, Vicario, I like. Kind of he's been a bit nervy on a couple of occasions, but I like the way his distribution is very good, and he doesn't put my heart in my mouth every time he gets the ball at his feet like Hugo Lloris did. So I think he'll be a good signing for us. Mickey van der Ven looks a class act as well. And I think the one that's impressed me most of the whole lot, and he's not a new signing at all, he is a new signing. He's back with us after loan deal, is Doji. I think that guy is an absolute baller.
Yeah.
I think it's a brilliant signing for us.
Yeah. Look for me, Vicky van der Ven's a great signing, Philip, for me. Maddison for me is a signing off the window for that price as well. I know Leicester got relegated, but still a good price. I think the goalkeeper's good. Solomon's going to come good. We got him on a free transfer.
Yeah.
And then Alelo Velejes, I think we're going to see the best of him as well, actually, to be fair. I think we've bought... For me, he's been described as the new Maradona and Messi in one. That's who we've
signed. No pressure there, then.
No pressure there. Now, Carl, the outgoings. Look, we know Lucas Moura, Bowden, Casero released for the end of the season. Walcott and all them players released. Harry Winks, Joe Rodon, Harry Kane, and Alfie Devine. Plus Scarlett's gone to Ipswich.
Jed Spencer's gone to Leeds.
Yeah. How do you feel about the outgoings?
I agree with all of them, apart from Alfie Devine.
Yeah. I agree there.
I still think if we weren't going to get another centre midfielder, I still think he could have played some sort of part within the team. Harry Kane, obviously, you could argue the fact is that we got rid of him, and the argument is we never really replaced him, so what was the point of getting rid of him, even though we would have got no money if we didn't get rid of him this summer. But everyone else, I think Jed Spencer's obviously got some growing up to do. I think it was ideal for Dane Scarlett to go out because he's not going to get the game time, because I'd like to think that as we didn't bring anyone in for these, we brought into within the first team to battle it out with Richarlison for the striker position. And then we can see where we are in January. I'm hoping we can carry on doing what we're doing in the league this season, hopefully push on and then see where we are in January and go from there.
Yeah, I think Troy Parrott's missing from that list as well. He went to Excelsior.
He did, yeah. He did. Guys, just a bit of breaking news. Hugo deal looks like it will get over the line. They're offering him the #1 shirt as well, and as a reasonable wage packet as well. So Hugo Lloris could be out the door before 11 o'clock. Colin, any more on that? Can you tell us?
Could we not give him Ndombele as well?
No. I've got more news, and then Ndombele. I'll let you guys know in a minute what's happening on that one. Colin, any more on the Hugo Lloris thing?
Well, he's getting what he wanted, isn't he? He wanted to be #1, and they're giving him that. So if he doesn't go, then it's more for him, really. I think they're offering him very similar to what he's getting at Spurs wage-wise. So he's not taking a pay cut as such, and he's getting his first team football, which is what he wanted.
Philip, the latest on Ndombele I've got is he was seen about 5 minutes ago in the Tottenham training ground being chased by Daniel Levy, Ange, and the cook in the restaurant for nicking the last kebab that was Ange's. So that is the latest we're hearing. Carl, have you got any more news in this? Because you broke it to me. So what's the latest from Ndombele being chased by Levy, Ange, and the Tottenham cook?
He was, unfortunately, they couldn't catch him because it was the only time he went run when he's got food dangling in front of him.
The fastest move forever, I think.
To be fair, the man is an enigma. I don't think he cares about what anyone. I think someone could insult him to his face, and I just don't think he would care. I just think he would just sit there and just laugh. I just don't. I never thought I'd see someone with a worse attitude than Pogba, and at least Pogba actually knew how to play football.
Yeah.
Right. Can I just give you a bit enough from the EFL moves? 5 moves who have just been confirmed by Sky Bet Championship side. Joshua Kayud has signed a 1-year extension at Rotherham and joins Kyle Island the season-long loan. Peterborough United have signed Jacob Walken from Swindon from an undisclosed free. Stoke defender Matt Baker has joined Newport on the season-long loan. West Brom has signed Pippa on a season-long loan from Lauren Gratz, 25-year-old right-back, has played under Carlos Corbean at Huddersfield and Olympiacos. And Brendan Cooper has joined Leyton Orient on loan from Swindon until late January. As we have announced that Calabada to Spurs is not happening. Trevor Calabada proposed move to Tottenham from Chelsea is not happening. Who was linked with Bayern Munich and Nottingham Forest in the window, will stay at Chelsea. Spurs have been exploring the late move for the defender, but talks did not progress between the two clubs. And anymore. No, that's it. Chelsea Morana joins Lyon on loan. I'm hearing rumours, Colin. Can you double check this for me? Or Chuck, if you've heard of anything, that why is Hugo saying no to Nice?
I can try and find out for you. Just give me a
Yes.
second.
Now, would you be surprised if he said no to that? Philip?
I would. I'm very surprised because he's not going to play a part at Spurs. He's played at Nice before. Is that going home for him? I can't think of no reason why he's turning that down, unless the money on offer isn't right. That's the only thing I can think of. It's the only reason that it could be.
Yeah.
Unless he's because there was rumours that the Saudi teams are interested in him, wasn't there? So unless he's waiting to see whether the Saudi team will come in for him.
So we're just waiting for confirmation on that one. I'm waiting to hear from our source.
Should literally, I think really we should be given. I think Spurs should be given a trophy as to being the only club who can successfully hold on to any player they don't want or who refuse to leave.
Well, here we go, guys. This is another bit of breaking news. Philip, I'll let you set off the discussion on this. I'm just flabbergasted by that.
The Three Stooges are all set to stay at Spurs till early January. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg,
You said it right, by the Philip.
Tanguy and Ndombele, Hamburger, and Dyer are all set to stay at Spurs till earliest January. Anybody watching in Saudi Arabia, can you please come and take these off our hands? We don't want any money for them. Just please take them.
I love that Hamburger Dyer. I think that's brilliant. Hamburger Dyer.
The only one I would register. To be fair, the only one I would register is Højbjerg.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even register.
No, I'm going to say this now, Colin. I'm Carl. Sorry, Colin. I'm copying in this well, Colin. Højbjerg can do one. I've washed my hands with him. After the stunt he pulled today, he's gone down to my instruments. Philip, has it got to a point now? I really want to get this discussion going with 15 minutes ago, the window. Are players now care more about money than they do about playing for their clubs?
Of course they do. Absolutely. I mean, there's 95%. I guarantee you, 95% of professional footballers at the minute are mercenaries. They're open to the highest bidder. And one of the main reasons behind that is their agents tell them to be that way. Because the agents make more money out of the transfers that these guys get. There's very few players, there's very few one-man teams anymore. Very few players that start the career and finish the career at the same club. You know, we had a few of them recently, but recently, been years gone by. But no, it's money talks now. When you have 19-year-olds, probably 2 years out of school, earning 50, 60 grand a week. Whereas the Patriots they went to school with are lucky to earn that in 3 years. You know, it's money. Money is a ruination of this game, I'm afraid, and it's going to continue.
Yeah. We've got Shamu, big up Shamu Vandy Vu. He says, "What a joke we are in the transfer window. Kelly is the biggest downgrade on Sober ever. Levy, the power. Look,
Kelly's not coming anyway, so don't worry about him. He's not.
That's obviously about Kelly, but that's true what Shamu says, because a lot of the players that we were linked with, Tapsover, Hincapia, Auburn, none of them moved in this transfer window. We could have got them, and none of them moved.
Look, I'm going to say I don't believe that, Carl. Do you know a lot of no disrespect
That's it.
to your
That's it. I'm going. See you later.
Okay, fair enough. See ya. Bye bye. It's not like yourself, Carl. It's not like FIFA, where you just pay the money, get the player in, and sign the contract on the same day, and it's done. You know that. We may have gone to these clubs, but maybe these players didn't want to come to us, and that's not always reported. So at the end of the day, it makes us look like we haven't done anything. But before I go to Philip and Colin, I don't know if Colin's still there, if he's fallen asleep or he's just.
Yeah.
Brennan Johnson just come on.
Okay, here we go. Philip's up to his and here's Philip here watching Sky Sports News. As he's watching the Brennan Johnson interview, he looks he looks really in. Huh?
It's not been confirmed officially yet, has it?
Yeah, it has. He looks so intensely there looking at the telly. really thinking. He's wondering what John. He looks so excited, guys. He really does. He looks like he's about to burst into. It's not unusual.
Are we sure he's watching Sky Sports?
I don't think he is. I reckon he's watching one of them funny channels after 11 o'clock. You know.
I've got a little update about Hugo.
Does that convince
you? I reckon he's just put that on now.
Quickly flipped over from Babe Station.
No, he's been watching Gone with the Wind all night. I reckon he's just finished. So he's just put on the film.
No, I was watching The Godfather Part 3.
Yeah, go on, Colin. What? Yeah. Go on, Colin. Go on. Give us a bit of information. Go on, sir.
So you guys are going to lose your minds. Honestly, you are. So Hugo has rejected.
Can I just stop you there? Is this going to be good news or bad news or news?
This is bad. Bad news. Bad news. I'm the bringer of bad news. From what I've received back to the question is he's rejected the move because if he is going to go to any club in Europe, he wanted to go to a Champions League playing club.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Give me.
And that goes back to me telling everyone the overinflated ego of our Deadwood. That two of the three of them thought that they should be playing Champions League football. Shall I let them all into a little into a little secret?
Yeah,
they were all playing for a team. They were all playing for a team that they could have got Europe for, and they didn't do it.
Yeah. That's an insult. That's a bloody insult. That it really is.
Can I just say, I wish there wasn't a game tomorrow because we could have had a really good debate show on this transfer window, and there has to be a bloody game.
When this transfer window's finished, I never want to hear of it again. Finished. Don't even want to talk about it. It's been so frustrating, really.
Can I just give you all lads a bit of a well, I might as well take that shite off then, that ticker thing. There you go. The other bit of breaking news I've got: Spurs will never close to selling Højbjerg today. Confirmed he is staying at Tottenham. And Chelsea, for a bit, have said Conor Gallagher stays at Chelsea. Same with Maston Cucurella and Cabada. He was never close to leaving today at Spurs. Højbjerg did not want to leave because he said he liked the food so much. And Doris, the tea lady, has said that she would made Højbjerg his special pie if he was to stay at the club.
Well, Ellie be pleased.
Don't know.
But it says 4 of the Deadwood that we didn't get out.
Yeah,
Lloris, Højbjerg, and Ndombele all said that they'd wanted Champions League football.
Right,
it's a joke.
Yeah, Colin. I will come to you, Philip and Carl, but I want a fan from outside Tottenham to answer this question first, and put a different perspective on it. Colin, do you think Daniel Levy will be absolutely fuming tonight of what's happening with the likes of Dyer, Højbjerg, Hugo tonight, or do you think he just doesn't care?
Well, if Daniel doesn't care, then I'm afraid it's time for him to shut up shop and walk away. You know, I think if the news comes out that Daniel is fully aware of the situation and backs the players over what the manager wants, then I truly think that you guys need to protest as loud and as hard as you can, because no owner should get in the way of what the manager wants at all. If the manager doesn't want him there, they have to go, and Daniel has to make these deals happen. He has to do something, whether it's tear up contracts, like verbally agree with him saying, listen, enough's enough, we can't keep you here, we'll give you so much money, please leave our club, go find another club. They have to do something. But if, like I said, if Daniel's all for this, if Daniel's all for it and them staying, then you need a change.
Yeah, Philip. Look, Philip. Please don't take this in any way, but respect and what I'm about to say. Please do not take it in any other way. But as somebody that's seen a lot of Tottenham over the years, how do you feel with Daniel Levy tonight? I mean, you've seen the Wales, you've seen players come and go, Philip. You've seen us go up, you've seen us go down, you've seen us win domestic European trophies. You've seen the great players like Hoddle, Greaves, Martin Peters, Alan Gilzine, Pat Jennings, Ray Clements. Do you know, the list goes on and on and on for you.
Mm-hmm.
Look, me, Carl and Colin, right, we've all supported Tottenham for 40 odd years. You've seen them a lot longer than us. Not much, but you've seen them a bit longer than us. If you were telling a young child now, just why should I support Tottenham? What would you say to that? What would you say to your younger self?
What would I say? Oh God, why would I support Tottenham? Well, it's a difficult question because you can't say because of the success they've obtained on the pitch over the last 15 years. You can't say because of the brilliant chairman they've got. You could say they've got a brilliant ground to go to, great facilities to go and watch the match and whatever. But I would say it's probably down to personal choice. And at the moment, it's difficult to recommend anyone to support Spurs, to be honest, while the present owner is in charge, if you like. And, I'm just weary of it at the minute. It could have been so different. Like, we're probably 2 signings off a great window.
Yeah.
Well, it's the 2 signings we didn't make is going to be the reason a lot of people are going to say we had a crap window. It wasn't a crap window. It might have been a crap window outgoing. It wasn't a crap window incoming. It wasn't perfect by any means. But put it like this, we're a stronger team now than we were at the end of last season because at least we've improved some positions. I know we've lost Harry Kane. That's a horrible one to lose. But I don't know, Dom. I'm something? At this stage, I'm kind of tired and I'm weary. And I just want this window to finish. And I want it to get on with the game. And I want the team tomorrow to lift our spirits, go up to Burnley and beat the living shite out of them. And then give us something to cheer about after the disappointments of tonight.
I'm going to ask you a very direct question here, Philip. You know what we are on this channel. We've always been very down the middle, never either side. Are you tonight Levy out, or are you still the same, Levy in the middle?
I'm the same. I'm the same I've been for the last number of months. I think the club needs a new ownership because the present ownership is too stale, too stuck in its ways, too profit orientated, but I'm not prepared to put enough money back into the club that's needed. Penny pinching over transfer fees. Okay, I don't agree with overpaying, but certainly if the club's looking for 35 million and we'll go to 32, that's sort of penny pinching. And Levy is notorious for that. So I would love one of the underbidders for Manchester United to come down the M6 and M1 and buy us and put enough money into the club so the next transfer window, we won't be worried about who's staying. We'll be worried about all the good players that are coming into the club because the dross will be gone at that stage.
Yeah. And Shamu says there's more chance of Philip joining John Fogerty's band playing the drums than Levy going.
Yeah, well, that's true. I did audition for it, but didn't get anywhere. No, I'm joking. Yeah, there is. Unless somebody comes in with a ridiculously high offer, which I don't think is going to happen anytime soon.
Well, guys, we've got 5 minutes of the window left, so look, I think we might finish off after the window's closed.
The pub's still open there.
Yeah. Carl, look, very quickly with a few minutes left. Look, I know how you feel about Daniel Levy, so look, out of respect for this channel, just go a little bit tempered here, Carl, all right? Don't go full-fledged because we do respect everyone's opinion. But, right, can I just stop you there? We have breaking Spurs news. Tottenham have just announced the signing of Brennan Johnson from Nottingham Forest with 3 minutes to go in the window.
Yeah. Actually, what Sky said a few minutes ago was there was what they call the extensions are called deal sheets, and there have been no deal sheets submitted to the FA, so they reckon that all the paperwork done. So that's a done one. That's at least that's a bit of positivity.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing, holding it off till the end.
Right, Carl. Your thoughts on the transfer window, Daniel Levy?
Like Philip said, transfer window was just missing 2 or 3 players. It really was. But how many times have we said it in transfer window? So if we just got those 2 more players, it would have made the difference. I'll be tempered with Daniel Levy. You know my opinion. I've been Levy out since he sacked Martin Yole at half time. It has never changed. But I'll be calm and say that I just think his time is over. He can't compete financially with the other clubs anymore. This window has proven that other clubs are catching us up and we're not. We're sticking to our same plan that we've always done. And I think it's time for someone else who's going to come in and actually want to win things, because I'm not sure that he does.
Colin, look, I'm going to put this in, Colin. Look, I'm not ignoring you, Colin. Please don't think that. I just got given this, and I will come to your opinion. But Philip, just read that. I'm done after that now. That's me done.
Ange asked for the club to try and look into the possibility of signing Tosin and inquire about prices for Ferguson 2 days ago. Spurs dragged their feet on deciding whether or not to pursue the targets. Well, okay, Ferguson. Well, we're never going to get Ferguson because they're looking for 120 million for him, which is ridiculous. Tosin, I don't know if the Nice deal or the Monaco deal only fell through this evening, it wouldn't have given us enough time, you know. But it's disappointing. But listen, you, me, and the whole wide world's not going to change what's happened now. There's 7 seconds left in the transfer window. Sky are about to bring down the gates on us. We'll say, that's it, gone, closed, done. So no matter what's happened, what didn't happen, it's all irrelevant now. It didn't happen. So.
Right. Look for me, Philip.
Onwards now.
Look, for me, just very quickly, Colin, what's your thoughts on the transfer window as a whole, and what would you give it out of 10 for Man United?
Very disappointing. Very disappointing for both of us, I reckon. Again, I'd struggle to give it any higher than a 4 for United, if I'm going to be honest.
Even with Amrabat?
Even with Amrabat, we've still got so many gaps that we needed to fill. And, you know, we went out and blew our load on a young player who's not Premier League proven. I do think he'll come good for us. But, you know, we could have got a defender in and probably a younger, probably more experienced striker, which is what we need at the moment. We don't need a young striker. We need an experienced one. But we've just wasted all that money.
Yeah. Look, Philip, I'm deflated. I am fed up.
Yeah, I know we all are. But listen, we'll be back here at 10 to 3 tomorrow, rooting for our team and hoping they'll pick up 3 points to keep the pressure on at the league. And that's the way it goes. Listen, we might be mad. But we do it we're never going to give up on this club.
No,
Never.
I'm not going to say that, Philip. But look, what's disappointing me most is we had a chance this window, Philip, to really push on the ranch. Really push on. And look, we sold Harry Kane, which I think for me was, look, it was inevitable that he was going to go anyway. But I think we've been let down again by the club. We've been Ange has been let down by the club. We haven't replaced Harry Kane, which we should have done. We got in a goalkeeper and a centre back. Look, we're never going to ever do it in one window, Philip and Carl.
No, and that's the problem, Dermot. We're expecting too much in a way. I think if we sit down in the cold light of dawn when this is all settled down a bit, we've made signings, right, that have improved the quality of our team. Look at the 3 games we played in the league so far.
Yeah.
Million miles better than what it was last season, right? Okay, we haven't done all we want to do. And I think the biggest gripe is probably the players that are still at the club. But what I want to see is whatever 11 take the pitch tomorrow against Burnley, they don't think about what's happened in the transfer window. They just get on with the game, get on with that, what Ange has told them. We'll get the 3 points, and that'll make us all feel a little bit better. Now, if we lose tomorrow, I'm not switching on the computer for a week.
Would you still come on here, though?
Oh, yeah, I probably have to, but I mean, do you know what I'm saying?
I like your enthusiasm there. Well, I suppose if I have to.
I'll be keeping away from social media because it's going to be absolutely toxic. It's only a win tomorrow will keep things a little bit more on the even keel.
Yeah. Look, Phil, I'm just look. I don't know. Look, we're going to end it there anyway. Listen, we are back tomorrow, aren't we? Now, Philip, we're doing it a bit different tomorrow, aren't we? Colin, if you can stay on for 2 minutes after the stream, I need to answer your question. Also, can you put the link into the private chat as well? So I want to plug Full-Time Sports Network. Philip, what we're doing a bit more different, aren't we? We're doing Around the Grounds with a twist tomorrow. So do you want to explain to people what's happening tomorrow?
Well, I hope to be able to get a link to watch the Spurs game. So I'll be watching the Spurs match while the rest of you are going around the ground, and I'll be the one behind the couch. That's if I can get. I'm no guarantee I'll get a signal, but I hope to get one tomorrow.
Yeah,
to watch that game because it's not live on TV. Actually, I don't think so.
Is it on Premier Sports?
Yeah, that's what I just want to check now. Hold on.
It's on Premier Sports, but laughing.
It is. Hold on now.
Please make it on Premier Sports. Please make it Premier Sports. Please make it Premier Sports. Please make it Premier Sports. If there is a God. If there is a God.
No, Man City v Fulham.
Fuck you,
that's
God.
That's how I whispered them all the way through the transfer window.
When I go up to heaven now, St. Peter's not going to let me in because I just said F you, God. Sorry. Anyone religious watching, I do apologise. Yeah, I'm going to have the priest at my front door now in the morning now saying 25 Hail Marys and about 30,000 Our Fathers. For saying that.
That's reaching.
Carl, can you join us tomorrow for Around the Grounds? If you want to make a little...
Yeah, should be able to, yeah.
Grant, well, Carl's on tomorrow. Philip, thank you for what you've done today. It's great to have you back. And
I feel like another holiday now, to be honest.
Yeah, but while I'm bringing this link up, Philip, also can you sort of also announce what is happening with? Hang on, let me put this in the chat. I put it in the wrong thing. What's happening to the channel because there's been some big news this week, and there is your link, Colin, for Full-Time Sports Network. We'll let you plug your channel in 2 minutes. But, Philip, we have an announcement to make. And while you're here, we're going to do it properly now. So would you make the announcement? What's happening with the channel?
We're delighted to announce we've teamed up with Colin's channel, Full-Time Sports Network, for kind of double. What's what I'm looking for? We'll be streaming on both networks, and also tying in with all the various contacts that Colin and the guys have through the Full-Time Sports Network, which covers an awful lot of sports, not just football. So we're delighted that team up with these guys because as Colin's been great now since he came on this channel, and I think it's going to be beneficial to both our channels to be able to get our word out to maybe to a market that we might not have had before. And I must say, personally, I'm delighted to do it. I'm sure Dermot is as well.
I'm absolutely over the moon with this because I'm very impressed with. I mean, I've Columns come on here. He's a lovely guy. He's very helpful with the channel. I talk to you most days, Column. We over other football subjects, don't we? We just talk Spurs. We talk about other teams in the Premier League and football. He comes on to the Premier League review, which will be back this Monday, by the way. Now Philip's back from his holiday, but I'm very excited. It's opened up a whole new door for us, hasn't it, Philip? And
Yeah,
it's opened up
so.
many more avenues, and we're going to cover the Rugby World Cup, some of the Ireland games as well, me and Philip. And yeah, so it's great. But Colin, we know how great the Full-Time Sports Network is. Do you want to give it a massive plug? Because it is a brilliant channel. And what have you got coming up apart from us? What else you got coming up on your great channel?
Yeah, thank you for having me on. Really looking forward to the partnership that we're going into as well. We've got a lot of content coming up. If you're a football fan, we've got loads of stuff coming out over the next couple of days and week. And you won't see me much next week at all because I'm actually on holiday from tomorrow, which is pretty good because I need it after today. But now, yeah, as you said, we don't just cover football. We've got the rugby side of things. We've got boxing starting up as well. We've done it a couple of times. It's starting up back again. Hopefully, we're going to get NHL started up. We've got NFL that goes on as well. So we're covering every kind of sport we can possibly sink our teeth into, to be honest with you. So if any of those interest you, do please click on that link and give us a subscribe.
And we will be, our sister channel, the THFC, the F1 channel, will be starting up again soon as well. I just me and Philip need to sit down really and work out when we're going to do it. But that also will become to the Full-Time Sports Network as well, Column as well, just to let you know, the Formula One side of the channel as well. So Formula One now will be linked to your bow as well. But as I said, I've got to speak to Philip and sort out which races we can do and what ones he's around for. Do that. Carl, thank you so much for coming on again. You've been busy in the chat with us all day. You've been with us since 1 o'clock this afternoon when we started. It's been a mad day. Where can people find you? And I'm glad you're coming on tomorrow. Looking forward to having you on around the grounds. So where can people find you, sir? Can they find you on Twitter, or where can people find you?
They can find me on Twitter under Carl Simpson. I'm there, but usually you'll find me in your chat, really. Modding on quite a few channels. Just putting myself out there, really.
Well,
being a bit of a slag.
Yeah, well, you stay behind too, Carl. We might make you an offer. We might make you a late. I've put in the deal sheets so we can talk to you for another 5-10 minutes to see can we secure a deal with you. So hang on there. I know Philip's your agent, so I'll have to talk to Philip as well. Philip,
if there's pink M&Ms, we're not interested.
Well, no, there's no pink M&Ms. Don't worry about that. Philip, thank you all for what you've done today and tonight. You've been fantastic. You've been on with me since 4, so you've put in the shift as well. I want to thanks to Mia as well for coming on. Let me get Mia's one up as well. Please, everyone, go over to Spurs Between the Lines. Mia was on with Jack as well. They've been with me since 1 o'clock this afternoon with transfer deadline day. So thank you to them. So there's Mia's link as well. So please hit the link. Hit the link for us as well here on. We're on the road to 2K. We want to get there before before Christmas. Philip, is that the target for us? 2K before Christmas? You're on mute. You're on mute.
Yeah, before Christmas, hopefully, maybe even earlier. Yeah.
Now, Philip, next week it's a bit changed to the channel. We're going into International Week, aren't we? So we're going to do. So we've got a few new streams next week. So do you want to quickly tell people what we've got coming next week?
Well, we'll be keeping an eye on the Spurs. Obviously, there'll be a post-mortem or an inquest into the Spurs game. Mm-hmm. We'll be having on Monday night. We'll be doing a Premier League review, and then after that, it'll be the international break. So we'll be formatting or keep an eye on the Ireland versus France and Ireland versus Holland games. And Dermot and myself are going to the Holland match, which should be very interesting because it comes 3 days after the French game, at which stage are like we're not going to qualify from the group anyway. So it's just going to be a case of playing for pride and praying that we get a performance out of the team and we'll be doing I was going to say we might do something at half time from that game, because there should be signal there, Dermot, so high up in the stand. We should be getting some sort of a signal. I keep warning you about that because you ain't seen it yet.
Yeah, what we are going to do a watch along to the France game. We are going to do a watch along with that. We actually are going to do a build up, and one of the build up, and we're not doing it just on Ireland, are we, Philip? We're doing on all the home
all the major games. Yeah, all the major games.
So we're up there. Listen, thank you all for watching. It's been a mad night. Tottenham again have let us down, but look, these are the new players that Spurs have brought in. And let's welcome these players. Let's welcome Vicario Madison, Solomon, Ashley Phillips, Mickey van de Ven, Alejo Velez, Vicario and Kulu, who we've signed. Philip, it's Tottenham till we die. And Brennan Johnson, all welcome to the club. Philip, as always, it's THFC till I die, Tottenham till I die. Colin was shouting out United, orange and pink to the soul. Is it orange and pink, Colin?
Green and gold.
Green and gold. Philip, thank you so much again. Carl, you've been a star. Colin, brilliant. Just stay there, man. I need to have 2 words with you before you go. Whatever you do. And again, this channel, very lastly, before we go. Where is it now? Where is it now? Where is it now? Ross, your only place to go and get your mug shots. If you've been caught by the US police buying the wrong rugby, buying the wrong beer, as this man was, Philip, what can you get if you get mug shots of Ross? What is Donald Trump trying to tell you here?
God almighty, it's scary looking. Yeah.
Do you reckon
nearly every Spurs fan at the moment?
Anyway, Carl, any funny things before we leave?
I don't know. His eyes are burning through my soul. I can only imagine that's his sex face.
The picture.
Woohoo!
And holding the shirt.
There you go. There you go. Well, on that blooming bombshell, about Carl saying Donald Trump was burning his soul, we're going to leave it there. Thank you all for watching. But as whatever you do, never give up. We are Spurs fans, and we always are Spurs till we die. Good night. God bless. Come on, Big Ange. In Tottenham we trust. I've said that all wrong, haven't I?
While you're ahead there,
I've said that all wrong. Right, it's come on, you Spurs, in Big Ange we trust. Dermot, just go to bed, for fuck's sake.